Are we live?
We're live.
Are we on the air?
We're on the air and live. Let's rock.
And in living color.
Yeah, in crystal clear 4K, so to speak. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, what's good, y'all? It's the Chillmeister Chris Gary. It's Jay Wolf. It's Mike Soltez from Ohio.
Mr. Ohio to you now, Buster.
Of course. And
Thank you, Andrew.
And you are watching a very special live edition of Focus Fights Audio. Special only because of the fact that, well, first of all, we're tired of just saying that all these episodes are special. There has to be a purpose behind it. But still, though, point of the matter is the fact that, I mean, don't y'all think that RIZIN has gotten away with too many events as of late? Because this is the second event that we'll be talking about in about, what, the last 4 or 5 weeks?
No, what are you talking about? This is exactly what we want. This is like two events in like 2 weeks here. This justifies a subscription to RIZIN.tv, which everybody go to RIZIN.tv to get this, order this show right here, Landmark 11.
Honestly, Christian, I don't think that it's a big deal because the RIZIN Korea event was really like maybe once a year thing. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. But when we can have this debate ad nauseum, but if you start having too many events, you run the risk, as I believe Andrew's mentioned it before, in wrestling parlance, you kill the territory.
Right.
And that's where the balance is. Because
in a way, you basically would be like the UFC running events every damn weekend.
Yeah, but the thing about there's two different. Well, UFC at this point isn't exactly flush with draws, but RIZIN only has a limited amount of those on its roster right now, and they need to be used in bigger locations like Saitama, Tokyo Dome, etc. I mean, you have your local draws like attempt to very much on this show in particular, as we can talk about, but there's a fine balance between overkill and making people anticipate it. It's a very fine line.
Also, you got to mention that these are different series bouts here.
They are.
The Korea one was their World Series.
And that should only be once a year. Oh, no.
Give me 2, 3, 4 of those a year, international events. And then this one, Landmark, is their cage series event. Yeah. This is where they're it's in a cage, and it's a superior rule set, full RIZIN rules in a cage, and then they have their regular numbered series events, which is in the ring, and then their big tentpole events, the Super RIZIN 4, Otoko Matsuri, Men's Festival, and then the New Year's Eve. Those big tentpole events. So there's multiple different series. So I don't think that it risks what you're talking about with the, what was that pro wrestling term you said? Kill the territory or whatever?
Killing the market, killing the territory just by sheer overexposure. When you have that many events, there is a fine line.
Well, that's if they're all the same event like the UFC's doing.
No,
I can see that's still oversaturated. But this one, the different series switches it up. It's a good switch up.
That I don't agree with. It's still RIZIN at the end of the day.
Okay, well,
yeah.
We agree to disagree.
Of course. But the point of the matter is, we are talking about RIZIN Landmark 11 from the Makomanai Sekisui Heim Ice Arena in Sapporo, Hokkaido, Japan. The event will take place this Saturday. Well, actually, no. Let me rephrase that. This Saturday in the Eastern and Central time zone, 1 Eastern, midnight Central, late Friday night for Jay Wolf in California, which will be 10 p.m. Pacific, and it'll take place on RIZIN.tv. If you get the $19.99 pay-per-view event, well, actually, if you get the event for $19.99 or $20 in total plus tax, where I'm at, you'll get the event in all its clear clarity, but also you can get the event on the RIZIN Premium Pass for $18. Well, actually, $17, so to speak. And you'll get all the upcoming pay-per-views. Well, you probably should have done that last month because of the last 3 events that they've done. But still, though, point of the matter is you got RIZIN Landmark 11 coming up this Saturday. And Andrew is basically saying this show is not sold out, by the way.
It's sold out more than your PF Fumble is, Drew.
How many tickets have been sold then, Andrew?
It'll be sold out by the time the show runs around. And what Jay Chris was saying, it actually, but don't forget the prelims. The prelims start at 8:30 Pacific, 11:30 Eastern. So technically, Jay Chris, it does start Friday night for the East Coast.
Well, yeah, sure. And by the way, Makomanai Ice Arena holds about 12,000 people.
That's a big arena for like a B level card like this.
Well, if you notice on this card, they're up in the quality of the landmark cards, and that they on this card has a de facto #1 contender fight in the main event. Has the Heavyweight Grand Prix, the last bout of the Heavyweight Grand Prix quarterfinals, and a bunch of other big potential other contender bouts as well. And they're also adding an opening ceremony since they're up in the quality of these landmark cards.
They are opening, so there is an opening ceremony now.
There is an opening ceremony, and they're having the prelims are going to be 4 bouts now. That's why they're starting at 8:30 p.m. Pacific, 11:30 p.m. Eastern. So they've upped the size of the card and the quality of the card of these landmark cage events, and it's pretty exciting. I'm loving it. I think eventually we're going to see, like, was Chihiro and Vugar when he won the title? Was that a landmark show?
It was landmark in Azerbaijan.
Okay, so that was not called the World Series event yet. That was just so
much bigger venue too.
So that would have to be considered the biggest landmark card of the day, since it had a title fight on it. But now that they've switched the international events to call them World Series events, now this is the biggest landmark card today, and they're going to keep upping them. And now they all have opening ceremony, probably get title fights, #1 contender fights, all that good stuff. So I'm just super excited about it. I just love how it's 19 fights. 15 superior rule set bouts. Man, it's awesome. I'll absolutely love it.
Yeah, but come to think of it, we can go ahead and talk. I mean, and by the way, Andrew just said, but RIZIN putting out what am I trying to say? But RIZIN putting on Mikuru in 2 shows, not on the show at Soccer or Sapporo, conditions the audience to only wait for the Mikuru shows.
But if he's only booking for big shows, like the big shows, I'm not sure I completely agree with that. I see what he's saying, but I'm not 100% sure, because this is a smaller it's designed to be a smaller card. You're not expecting Mikuru, but you're expecting something good. And I do think Kimura versus Karamov is very much a worthy main event.
Absolutely. And remember Sakakibara-san said it was the de facto #1 contender bout. Right,
yes.
The winner,
provided someone doesn't get injured, of course.
Right. Someone doesn't injure, and they don't stink up the joint, and it's a sensational performance. Otherwise, they got the other #1 contender bout on there, Kolesnik
versus Sasuke.
Yes, that's like the backup #1 contender bout on this card. So basically, 2 #1 contender bouts on this card. The final Heavyweight Grand Prix matchup, a final quarterfinal of the Heavyweight Grand Prix. And and a bunch of other fantastic matches. I saw Drew said, only 10 fights matter. I disagree. Well, there's at least 15 fights that matter, Drew.
I would tend to agree with him, because the 4 prelims and the 7 kickboxing, who gives a damn?
Well, if they're superior rule set, those are the ones we care about. So as long as it's superior rule set, they matter.
Yeah, but come to think of it, we can go ahead and start talking about, seeing that Andrew said it's 19 fights and 10 of them that matter. I say there's 12 from the main event on down to the first fight to the first MMA fight that actually is worth giving a damn about. But still, though, considering the fact that we're talking about the elephant in the room, that is the main event having title implications, let's go ahead and say it now. RIZIN has another event coming up next month. That's Super RIZIN 4 coming up at the Saitama Super Arena in late July.
With the stadium setting.
The stadium setting of Saitama Super Arena, by the way. The newly minted featherweight champion, Razhabali Shaydullaev, is at the top of the heap right now after knocking out Kleber Koike in succession. 4 of these 5 main card fights after the intermission probably might have title implications. And you know what? Instead of just talking about each fight individually, let's talk about them a la carte. Let's talk about Vugar Karamov versus Shuya Kimura. Let's talk about Ilkham Nazimov versus Suguru Ni, Sora Yamamoto versus Hiroaki Suzuki, and Viktor Kolesnik versus Kisuke Sasuke Sasu. First of all, the particulars for the Karamov Kimura fight. Just to be clarifying here, Karamov is the former RIZIN Featherweight World Champion from Baku, Azerbaijan. 5'9", 155.7 pounds, but dropping back down to 145 for this fight. 33 years of age, born February 20th, 1992. Representing, well, and see, this is why I basically have to do my research on the fly, because Andrew will get pissed at me for looking at typology for my where do these fighters fight out of results. But still though, Vugar, Vugi, Karamov, fighting out of Baku, Azerbaijan, and represents Orion Fight Club. He most recently fought inside the RIZIN ring on New Year's Eve, getting choked out by Roberto Satoshi de Sousa in his one and only opportunity, probably, to become a double champion in RIZIN Fighting Federation history. That was a submission via triangle choke finish back at RIZIN 49, 4 minutes 45 seconds of round number 1. Other than that, he's 6-3 in RIZIN competition. Well, yeah, 6-3 in RIZIN competition, and a good chunk of those opponents didn't make it out the first or second round. As far as his opponent goes, he's an undefeated champion of, well, actually, no. He's an undefeated contender looking to make do on a potential championship opportunity. That's Gladiator star Shuya Kimura.
Coming off that, 40-ish, 50-second knockout of Takeji Yokoyama, which was a stunner.
Yeah, 54 seconds, actually.
Okay.
But all wins are by way of first round finish. First round knockout at that. So there's that, too.
Yeah.
Either way, Kimura, 5-0 compared to Karamov's record of 20-6 with 1 no contest, I think. But still, though, Shunya Kimura fighting out of Tokushima, Japan, representing Brave Gym. And, yeah, that's it, Brave Gym. He fights out of Brave Gym, 5'6", 146 pounds, 25 years of age. Oh, by the way, today's his birthday. Yay! But still, though, point of the matter, he would much rather celebrate his birthday with a potential RIZIN featherweight title opportunity. Now, as far as the second featherweight fight on the card, and we're going to skip over the lone lightweight outlier in the main card, that would be
Jorge Nishikawa.
Yeah, Jorge versus Nishikawa. We'll talk about that after we're done talking about the featherweight fights on this main card. Viktor Kolesnik, 25-4-1, fighting out of Krasnodar, Russia, representing the Forge. Age 29, born March 7, 1996. 5'10", 144 and a quarter pounds. His record, 25-4-1. He is 3-0 inside the RIZIN ring or cage. Oh, wait, actually, let me rephrase that. 25-4-1 with 15 finishes. Most of them coming in the first round. But he is 3-0 inside the RIZIN ring. His only finish was against Atsushi Kishimoto at RIZIN 42 via second round calf kick KO. And he's won his last 2 fights in the RIZIN ring or cage via unanimous decision. A win over Ryo Takagi and a win over Yoshiki Nakahara. He is former Open FC featherweight champion. His opponent is Kisuke Sasu, or Sasuke, as the marketers like to put him over as. 14-3-1, former Shudo champion. Well, actually, no. Current Shudo featherweight world champion, even though I think it's Shudo lightweight. I don't know. Maybe they go by the hydration rule for 1FC. But still, though, he is 12-1-1 inside the Shudo cage. His overall record is 14-3-1 with 9 finishes. He stands at 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at 145.5 pounds, representing Master Japan, fighting out of Kanagawa, Japan. With a win here, he could possibly be the first fighter to jump from one fight over to potential contention for the for the featherweight title.
And he's certainly good enough and credentialed enough to have a case if he wins this fight.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Now, as far as let's see, I'm going down the list now. As far as the third fight of this featherweight main card showcase, Sora Yamamoto versus Kaibatsu-kun, the General Killer, Hiroaki Suzuki. Of course, we know Sora Yamamoto, second-generation competitor, 16-10-2, representing Power of Dreams, Sapporo, Hokkaido, Japan. Age 24, born October 29, 2000. He's 5'11", 145 pounds. He has a professional MMA record of 16-10-2, but is 3-4 in the RIZIN Fighting Federation, and currently going off of a 4-fight losing streak where he lost his Fighting Nexus featherweight title in the process. As far as his opponent goes, Hiroaki Suzuki, he is 4-6 inside the RIZIN Fighting Federation from Toyohashi, Aichi, Japan. 40 years young, born December 6, 1984. He is a former shoot boxing world champion and a former competitor of that damned one championship. But still, though, in his MMA journey so far, he's lost 3 of his last 5, or really 5 of his last 7, in addition to the fact that he's 4-6 inside the RIZIN ring. Well, the RIZIN ring or cage. His most recent 3 losses were a knockout loss to Yaman, RKA Ren Sugiyama, sorry Andrew, and back-to-back decision losses to Kiyoma Akimoto and Hyuma Yasui.
Mm-hmm. Who should have been back in RIZIN already, but that's a discussion for another day.
Oh yeah, of course. And the fourth and final main card featherweight bout, of which, oh, by the way, there are 5 main card featherweight bouts, but the one we're probably not going to give a damn about too much, but still though, out of the 4 fights that matter, this is the fight that everybody's going to be talking about. Ilkham Nazimov versus Andrew's favorite fighter, the fighting bouncer Suguru Ni. Nazimov, 11-3 overall, from Magnitogorsk, Russia, by way of Uzbekistan. 30 years old, born March 27, 1995, 5'11", 145 pounds. He's only fought twice in RIZIN out of his 14 fights. He's 11-3 overall with 8 finishes, 6 of those 8 in the first round. But still, though, he's won each of his last 2 fights in RIZIN competition, beating Juarez Dea at the aforementioned RIZIN Landmark 7 in Azerbaijan show back in November 2023, and knocked out Sora Yamamoto via ground and pound in April of 2024 at RIZIN 46. So for him, this will be his first fight in RIZIN competition since April 29th, 2024.
Long overdue. Long overdue.
Yeah, 13 and a half months ago. But now that I basically wasted my larynx talking about all 4 of these fights, I mean, when it comes down to title contention, only one of these fights, and that's Karamov versus Kimura, has title contention.
2 of them do. Kolesnik as well.
That would be like a set. I would term it like a reserve match, kind of, in a way.
Yeah, like the backup title contender, basically, in case, like we were saying in the intro, in case Vugar or them, shit the bed and doesn't produce an exciting bout, or they get injured, like Mike was saying, or Mr. Ohio was saying.
Yeah, but the point of the matter is, when it comes down to these 4 fights, I mean, let's just say featherweight title contention not on the menu, so to speak, if we actually gave a shit about either of these 4 fights being deemed worthy of getting the fans out of their seat, which one do you think would probably have the most to prove, as far as excitement level goes? Because I know that Karamov Kimura is going to bring some exciting vibes. But what about the other 3 fights in that same weight division?
Do you want to go first, Jay, or do you want me to?
Go ahead.
You're ready to go first, Mr. Ohio. Go ahead. Take it. Hit it.
Well, for the live crowd, I'm going to argue it's going to be the local boy, Sora Yamamoto.
Mm-hmm.
First off, this is literally, well, not figuratively speaking, do or die for both guys. Sora's lost 4 in a row. Suzuki's lost 3 in a row. So basically, I would think this is a loser leaves town match.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm sure that the crowd is going to be hot for the Sapporo, for the Hokkaido guy. And I would expect Sora to submit him. But I would say in terms of the live crowd, Yamamoto, Suzuki will have the most emotion to it. But I think in terms of spectacle, I think the most intriguing one of these 4 is Karamov against Kimura. Kimura is clearly a very good striker, but he's very untested. And Karamov is a damn good fighter. And he's so well-rounded. I do believe he's going to be able to get Kimura to the ground. We're going to see what Kimura has on the ground, I think, barring something unexpected. Like a quick knockout or something like that.
Or another up kick knockout.
a la Chihiro Suzuki, but I don't think Kimura has the ring IQ, cage IQ that Chihiro has quite yet. When Chihiro's trained 100% and 100% ready.
Understood. Jay,
and as far as I was going to say Nazimov, I think, is going to run through Knee. I just think he's better than Knee by a significant margin in every category. And Knee's coming off 2 losses. The only thing I would be concerned about with Nazimov is ring rust, since it's been over a year. And then as far as Kolesnik Sasuke goes, I did watch more of Sasuke's stuff in preparation for this. He's a good grappler. He doesn't have the best takedown defense. His stand-up is kind of stiff and he's slow. So I do think Kolesnik will decision him because I think Kolesnik's better in every aspect. But it wouldn't shock me if Sasuke could pull an upset somehow.
Understood. Jay, what say you? What fight do you think would probably get the fans more excited?
Well, I think the top 2, which is Vugar Karamov, obviously, that one, and him and Kimura, it's the number 1 contender fight. So that one's obviously got a lot of pressure on both those fighters to deliver, as main event, all that good stuff. So the fans are going to be really looking forward to that, as am I, as we all are. I mean, that's going to be awesome. And then for the second one, I think it's going to be Kolesnik, because I think that, like we were saying earlier, he's the reserve title contender, backup in case Kimura and Vugar shit the bed or whatever, get injured or whatever. So Kolesnik's going to be looking to put on a great performance to maybe even try to say, hey, if he puts on a sensational performance, he's going to try to steal the thunder of the main event. And if the main event even comes close, like a decision or not as good of a fight or whatever, I think Kolesnik's going to be pretty vocal about, hey, you should give me the shot instead. Because remember, he was a title contender also at lightweight, and he dropped down to featherweight. So he's an excellent fighter. Plus, he's an international fighter. I love my international fighters. Of course, my favorites are always the American fighters, but I love the international fighters. That's why I think that for the third one for me is going to be the Nazimov fight. We've all been wanting to see Nazimov fight again, right? Because like Mr. Ohio was talking about, it's been a year since we've seen him in the Epic RIZIN ringer cage, and it's just, it's time for him to see what he can do again. So pretty excited for him. And then I guess for the local boys ones is my 4th one. I know that's going to be probably the most for the Japanese fans. It's probably the most anticipated one of them because it's got the two local fighters there. But for me, it's the international fighters and the 2 pretty much number 1 contender bouts. In my opinion, I think are going to be my most anticipated ones the most anticipated one being the main event with Vugar and Kimura.
Mm-hmm. And one other point about Yamamoto, because of his father, Kenichi Yamamoto, there is that UWF Japan Pro Wrestling connection. So that, I think, adds a little flavor to the story.
Most definitely, especially considering the fact that when you think about it, and obviously if you're old, if you, the listener, are old enough to basically remember, a lot of Japanese MMA was basically born off of Japanese professional wrestling.
UWF.
So yeah, it's basically obvious that excuse me. Basically obvious that when it comes down to Sora Yamamoto, he's definitely going to get the crowd hyped up like it's a Road Warrior pop type of match.
Yeah. Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just like I said, do or die for both guys. Gotta win.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Now, when it comes down to the lone lightweight outlier of the main card, the post-intermission portion of the program, Yoshinori Horie, former UFC competitor, will take on former PFL tournament participant Yamato Nishikawa. First of all, for the supposed star for hire, if you know, you know. Yoshinori Horie, age 30, just turned 30 as of about a month ago. May 10th, 1995 is his birth date. Representing Fight Team Alliance and fighting out of Sasebo, Nagasaki, Japan. He has a professional MMA record of 13 wins, 5 losses. Half of those 13 wins by way of knockout. He is most known for his one-and-done stint inside the octagon, which, oh, by the way, the guy he defeated, the guy he lost to, Hakeem Dawodu, he's now considered a free agent because he just got cut from the octagon after inactivity. So maybe we might see him fight.
Maybe a rematch?
Yeah, hopefully so, if RIZIN can set the money right.
Yeah, I mean, Horie is also known for, as you say, his handiwork, so.
You said it.
Zing.
The motherfuckers. But still, though, when it comes down to Horie,
I love Horie. I'm joking. I love Horie.
I know. But still, though, point of the matter, Horie, former Pancrase Neo Blood tournament winner at Featherweight, 145 pounds, by the way. And everybody knows the Pancrase Neo Blood tournament is very prestigious. But what hasn't been prestigious is his RIZIN record so far, which, yeah, may be over 500 at 4-2. But if you look at the if you look at the fights he's had over the last 2 years, he's 1-2 so far. He got submitted by Vugar Karamov, who's going to be in the main event, back at RIZIN 41 2 Aprils ago. He beat Spike Carlisle, which Spike Carlisle came in, I think, overweight for that fight. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that I consider that his biggest win to date, to be honest with you. That was fantastic.
That was RIZIN 44, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was RIZIN 44.
My wife and I were at that show.
Yeah.
That was a good fight. That is Horie's best win. And he had that war with Luis Gustavo. So he proved he's for real.
Yeah, he had that war last time out back last February. Not this past February as in 2025, but last February as in 2024, when he lost to Luis Gustavo at RIZIN Landmark 8. And this doesn't include the fact that he knocked out Tetsuya Seiki. He defeated now Pro Wrestling Noah star Yuta Oka Sasaki, who's also a former UFC fighter as well, and defeated our boy Hirotaka Nakata, who retired, put the gloves down after his Featherweight King of Pancrase title opportunity recently, and we were all a part of the tribute video for him.
I hope he comes back, actually. I think he's too young to retire.
Yeah, but if you lose the passion, then you shouldn't be in because you're going to get hurt.
Yeah, but what if it rekindles while I was taking a long extended break? What if he wants to come back? I told him we welcome him back with open arms if he feels. I
would say that too, but I would hope that at 7-7, we'll see what he could do with a potential comeback.
I see. And by the way, the video that we're referencing It's in. I mean, if you're listening back to this now, if you're listening to this now on the replay or video via audio or video, so to speak, you can check out the link in the description because we do have that video in question. Now, as far as Nishikawa is concerned, he has a professional MMA record of 22-5-6, fighting another hometown boy, Sapporo, Hokkaido, Japan. His record is 22-5-6 with 18 finishes, 14 knockouts, 4 submissions, 5'7", 153 pounds. He is 22 years old. God, we're getting up. Born December 6, 2000. He represents Power of Dream, fighting out of Sapporo, Hokkaido, Japan. And he will be making his RIZIN Fighting Federation debut after a 2-fight stint in the PFL and a 1-fight relapse in Deep when he defeated Sho Patrick Usami back on December 8th.
Which supposedly, Andrew did say that he thought that Usami won that fight.
Exactly. Oh, and need to mention, Nishikawa was the former Shudo lightweight champion at 155 pounds.
Yeah, and then where was the PFL fight at? Was that at lightweight or was it at welterweight or was it featherweight? I can't remember.
He fought 2 times in the 2023 PFL season as a lightweight. He lost to Hurricane Shane Burgos and Clay Colliard. No
shame in that.
Because those two are just some absolute beasts when it comes down to their seriousness.
But they're both solid guys, Burgos in particular. But anyway, that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah, but the point of the matter is, when it comes down to this particular fight, considering the fact that we just seen Roberto Satoshi de Souza basically wipe away another piece of competition. We got Patricky Pitbull Fiore coming into RIZIN full time after his career was basically in limbo. Oh, and Andrew is basically saying Nishikawa couldn't hang in the PFL. We know. But still, though.
PF fumble, Drew.
But still, considering the fact that the RIZIN lightweight division is starting to shape up quite a bit because Roberto Satoshi de Souza is dominant. And Patricky Pitbull Fiore just got signed into RIZIN full time after his career was pretty much in, I wouldn't say limbo since the last time he fought in RIZIN, because he has been cleaning it up well.
Didn't he just lose in the PFL?
Oh my God, I think he has.
I thought he lost his last fight. I thought Patricky lost his last fight in the PFL at least.
Yeah.
Let me check, because I know that he was supposed to be in negotiations for the Gobshite Fight League. Global Fight League. But still, you're right. He did fight twice in the PFL. He got knocked out by Cassius Clay Colliard and got beaten to a pulp by Bruno Miranda.
So you do have to wonder with Patricky how much he has left, but that's a discussion for
another day. But still, though, like I'm trying to ask, when it comes down to the RIZIN lightweight division, knowing what we know now, with Patricky signing and Roberto cleaning out the competition, do you think that this fight between Nishikawa and Horie might decipher who will be the next domestic star for RIZIN?
No.
If Shunta Nomura fails?
If Shunta Nomura fails, you could probably build either of these two as the next title challenger. I'm sure they're hoping that Nomura beats Pitbull so they can try to fast track him for Satoshi. That's what I would imagine. Whether that works, that's to be determined. As far as the fight, Nishikawa is obviously the grappler because his striking is not good, but his grappling is excellent. But his takedowns aren't, from what I saw of him in PFL, weren't great. And Horie does have pretty good takedown defense. So if Horie can keep the standing, I think Horie can punch, especially with that right hand. I think he's going to stop Nishikawa.
Okay. And what say you, Jay?
Well, Horie, look at the placement on the card on the bout order. he's the co-main event. So he's probably pretty much the main draw here for this, besides the main event, obviously. I mean, so he's drawing the fans, the Japanese fans here. So if he puts on a good performance, he might be fighting Satoshi-san here pretty soon, if not next. I mean, pretty soon after that. I mean, that was a huge win over Spike Carlisle, and now they got him in a co-main event slot. This could be a possible number one contender bout for him if he puts on a good performance. So, and then like we were talking about, Patricky Pitbulls just re-signed, and of course Satoshi has a late notice, like 2 days late notice loss, and then needs to avenge to Patricky. So, and if Patricky's on the Super Rizin 4 card coming up next month, if he wins, maybe they could do Hori versus Patricky for like number one contender bout. If they don't want to just put it, if Hori doesn't have sensational performance here, and then he'll need like one more bout, say, then they could match him up with the winner of Patricky Pitbull's bout, and that could be the
yeah.
You like that plan, Mr. Ohio? All right, cool.
I do, because I think that's honestly, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking you match the winners of those two at one of the matches, or one of the events later this year, and then you go from there, provided there's no injuries or bad performances or what have you.
Well, Jay, I think Andrew kind of disagrees with you, saying, what happened to you wanting that immediate Pitbull Souza rematch?
Well, he got
fights. He needs to earn it.
He got booked at Super Rizin 4. Otherwise, I would have said, yeah, go ahead. But I guess they want him to wash the stink of PF Fumble and Dummy Don off him, so got to match him up with somebody first, Super Rizin 4.
And he's actually got to win a fight or two before.
That was before.
I don't
that
think
was way before.
But you can't. But I don't think you can
talk about the past shit. Stop putting Drew's hater comments up there. Let's go. Come on. Get back to Poirier. Let's talk about. Let's see if Poirier can prove that he's got hands. Wink, wink. You know what I mean?
Don't steal my shtick.
He has hands, not Andrew. Somebody just walking around in a rainbow bikini. I mean, in a rainbow speedo. No respect.
If he gets a spectacular knockout, I can see Poirier being next right away, and because he is going to be one of the main draws here for this card right here in Sapporo. Is he a local guy?
I don't think that he is a local guy.
Okay.
Nishikawa is the local, is the Hokkaido fighter.
Okay, so Nishikawa is more the local fighter, but Poirier is arguably the bigger star of the two, I guess. So
he's absolutely the bigger star. It's just that he's been so inactive. Whether that's injuries or what have you, can say. But
wait, he just beat Spike Carlisle. Wasn't that New Year's Eve?
That was no, that was a year and a half ago, September of 2023.
Oh, wow, I felt like it was like New Year's Eve.
Rizin 44 was September, I want to say 23rd or 24th of 2023.
Wow. Okay, so that was a while ago, but still, that was a fantastic win for him.
It was.
So
it was.
Now he's in a.
Bravo was excellent too.
Yeah, it was a banger fight as well. So I mean, the guy's on a great run right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if he with a great performance here, he'll probably be next. Since he's a popular fighter in Japan, and he's facing a local popular fighter, then man, it's his
legitimately a good fighter.
Yeah. So now it's his opportunity to lose here, and then I think with the good enough performance here, they'll put him right into that title shot with Satoshi-san. But if it's like a decision or it's like a lackluster fight with this like a regular average finish or whatever, then I could see them doing like we were talking about. Me and Mr. Howard were talking about matching up with the winner of Patricky and the Super Rizin 4.
Yes, I would say that you do it regardless with no more. I think Poirier needs to win at least 2 fights in order to get a title shot.
Okay, well, I mean, it depends on how long. Because remember, Satoshi-san is ready to go right now. He took no damage, got done in like, what was it, like a minute, 2 minutes, or whatever it was?
Seconds or whatever it was. It wasn't even a minute.
Yeah, so Satoshi-san's ready to go right now. And remember, he was pretty vocal about not liking that he was not defending the title, and it was a non-title bout.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. If Poirier puts on sensational performance here, I could seriously see them just plugging him right into a title shot with Satoshi-san. So because Satoshi's ready to go, if there's no injury or whatever, I mean, I don't see why not, to be honest with you. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see how the fight plays out first before we go.
And another person you have to keep in mind is Patrick Usami.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, hey, I like it. I like that there was a bunch of contenders coming up in the lightweight division. So let's see how the fight goes.
Yeah.
Let's see how the fight goes. And also we got to see how the Super RIZIN 4 fights go as well. So there's a bunch of good potential bouts there in the future. So looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. And by the way, before we move on, I apologize for mentioning Andrew's role in Fire Island, which you can catch on Hulu right now because it is the summer. I mean, we were just trying to make blatantly off-colored jokes about Yoshinori Horie's other profession, but still, though, we apologize that they may have fallen flaccid, so to speak. Also, considering the fact that this being the month of pride and love, all I gotta say is love is love. That's all I gotta say. But still, though,
Baby, don't hurt me.
Yeah. Well, sure, Mike. You're probably older. You probably know those references a hell of a lot more than I do.
Probably. Jay will probably knows them better than I do.
Yeah, no comment. I was mad at this Pride Month. Always asking about Fader and Crow Cop or something.
But still, though,
I think that was almost 20 years today. I think that was 20 years ago in August. Jesus.
Wow.
Oh, now you're dating me even more, Mike. Mr. Ohio, making me feel old.
Me too. What the hell?
Moving along.
Hey, we don't have no gray hairs yet, though, Mr. Ohio. So we're still young.
Hey, what can I say? Never mind. The Man's Hair Club is perfect for me.
Yeah.
No gray hairs. I don't have to worry. I don't have no dye or nothing. We're still young. We're still young at heart.
I barely have any hair.
But at least it's not gray, right?
I can use you for a mirror.
But still, though, we would talk about the heavyweight. Well, actually, no.
Let's just do it.
Why are we not talking about the heavyweight? That's one of the most anticipated bouts in the card.
But let's go ahead and talk about the two heavyweight fights a la carte that's going to be the two open weight fights in the case of one of the competitors.
Which is the more intriguing one because he's such a freaking volatile imbecile.
Oh, my God. Don't even get me started. But let's just go ahead and talk about the Heavyweight Grand Prix quarterfinals. You know, something that imbecile ain't in, so to speak. And that is the highly touted RIZIN debut of Alexander Soldatkin, the Russian-German monster, taking on Hexagon MMA heavyweight champion Prince Alnala. First of all, Alexander Soldatkin, 32 years of age, born June 10th, 1993. He is 6'2", 246 pounds of rumping, stomping, grave digging destruction from Berlin, Germany by way of Toyati, Russia. He holds a professional MMA record of 14 wins and 5 losses. 9 of those 14 wins come by way of finish. 12 of those 14 wins come by way of finish. 9 of them, well, actually 11 of them come by way of the first round.
And, you added one more on there because his Dana White Contender Series bout should have been a finish, but it was an illegal knee under the pussified UFC rule set.
Yeah, and he actually had a win in Aries FC overturned as well due to, he defeated his opponent because his opponent had a bad shoulder, but the fight was overturned due to the French MMA Federation popping him hard for drugs.
Steroids?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
was that before or after the Dana White Contender Series bout?
It was after. No, it was before the Dana White Contender Series bout. So really, supposedly, his record should be 16-3 instead of 14-5. But still, though, we can't have nice things in this world, and that's why he had to fight for them. Which is why he came back in his fight against, and I'm gonna really fuck this name up, Bogravan Alparslan back at Eclipse Fight Night 2 in September when he won via 19-second knockout. And he was supposed to be fighting at a RIZIN Otoko Matsuri event, but his opponent ended up having an injury.
Ulu, right? The Kyrgyz fighter?
Yeah.
The Kyrgyz Hulk or whatever his nickname was.
Yeah, the Kyrgyz Hulk ended up having a bad injury. So that ended up pushing Soldatkin off of the Tokyo Dome card. But at least it gives him an opportunity. At least it gave him an opportunity to shape up, get himself situated, and now he has a fight against a guy who, well, let's just face it, he is a current world champion of a promotion out in Europe, but he has no fucking business being on this fight card or in this tournament. Let's just say, I mean, we could be looking at another Daniel James situation in Prince Al Nala here.
To be fair, he did take the fight on I'm not going to say like super short notice, but got to give him credit for he's the Octagon champion, correct?
Hexagon.
Okay.
Who's really counting? I mean, who cares what shape it is? They all fight in a cage. But still, though, point of the matter is his so-called majesty, and we're not trying to bash the nickname here, but his so-called majesty, Prince Al Nala, 20-12 as a professional mixed martial artist, a Muay Thai practitioner by trade. He stands in at 6'2", weighing in at 242 pounds. Rip Jack genetically stacked destruction, fighting out of Paris, representing Free Fight Academy and all of France. And of course, he holds a professional MMA record of 20 wins, 12 losses. 14 of those 20 wins come by way of finish. 10 of those 14 by way of first round finish. He fought once in KSW, getting knocked out by Michael Martinek. Other than that, he's fought for major French promotions like 100% Fight, and that was before they legalized MMA. He fought
and when was that? Like 2020, 2021, something like that?
He fought for 100% Fight from 2012 to 2018, amassing a 4-3 record.
Okay.
He also fought for Night of Warriors, and more recently than all that, he's currently 5-0 inside the Hexagon MMA Steel. And he is currently, he just got through with his third defense of his Hexagon MMA heavyweight title, choking out Anthony Morel of Reunion Island. And also knocking out a guy who we're going to talk about in a matter of moments in the Kaiju killer, Hidetaka Arato.
So he's the one that beat Arato. Got it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's probably what put him on the radar of the Epic Rising.
But yeah,
one of the things.
Yeah, most definitely. But the point of the matter is, when it comes down to this battle of European MMA veterans, also Prince Al Nala fought for Cage Warriors and Venator FC. I'll never forget the exchange I had with their asshole owner, but that's neither here nor there. Still, though, when it comes down to this Heavyweight Grand Prix quarterfinal, this final Heavyweight Grand Prix quarterfinal, because we already got the semifinalists set in, let's see. I'm sorry, who all is the Heavyweight Grand Prix semifinal?
Ueda, Merrick, and then who's the third one? I'm blanking on the third one right now, darn it.
Oh, right. Mikio Ueda, Marek Samuchiuk, and Jose Augusto.
Augusto, thank you. Gosh, how could I forget Augusto from the Pitbull Brothers camp? Gosh darn it. Well, you know what it was? Because his fight was a stinker, and he didn't. He had so much energy, he was able to do backflips after the fight, and the announcers were chastising him, going, "Dude, you have energy to do this, and you didn't use it up in the fight to make it more exciting. Come on."
They were chastising him. Shit, we were giving him hard enough time, basically doing that. I mean, that was basically a waste of an opportunity for Augusto over Tsuyoshi Sudario. But yeah, point of the matter is, final Heavyweight Grand Prix quarterfinal bout between two European MMA veterans, one of whom is a complete unit. I mean, how do you think Soldatkin will win this fight, and do you think that His Majesty stands a chance?
Yeah,
man. Mr. Ohio, you want to go first?
Sure, why not? I was going to say, Soldatkin, I think, is going to win this fight by submission or ground and pound. Just too well-rounded, too strong and good of a grappler. I will say, if His Majesty can keep the fight standing, with his power, he's got a chance.
Okay.
Clearly, he's got the superior stand-up with his Muay Thai background. But he's going to have, I hope for his sake, his takedown defense is on point, because if not, he's going to get his ass whipped. That's pretty simple.
Okay, Jay, what say you?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, this is one of my most anticipated bouts on the card for multiple different reasons. I mean, first of all, everyone was dumping on the Heavyweight Grand Prix because the only good fight was Ueda's fight. Everybody else put on kind of snoozer performances, and the people that they wanted to advance didn't advance and stuff besides Ueda. So this fight right here, I've been trolling everybody saying this is going to save the Heavyweight Grand Prix, and it is. This was my personal most anticipated because of Sodakin. Sodakin is my most anticipated fighter of this Heavyweight Grand Prix because, let's talk about his Dingleberry Dana White Contender Series bout. That was supposedly a UFC level bout, right? And he was dominating and beating that guy's ass. And the only reason that he's lost was because of an illegal knee under the pussified UFC rule set. So that should be a UFC win on his record. And he should be in the UFC right now. And I'm really looking forward to seeing. And also it proves that he already knows the assignment. He already knows the assignment because, that's why he's not in the UFC, because he threw an illegal knee. So he knows how to throw superior rule set strikes. So I'm really looking forward to his performance here. And I think he's going to save the Heavyweight Grand Prix. And then the semifinals, they're going to be also fantastic as well, and just continue the awesomeness. And like Mr. Ohio was saying, Aonala, he's got a Muay Thai background, so he's a striker. So if he don't got decent takedown defense, he's going to get beat down. And hopefully, if he does, it's going to be hopefully by superior rule set.
And please let it be quick, so we're not seeing two beefy guys hug each other for 15 minutes, please.
Well, I mean, it can be. Hopefully, it'll be not too quick, but not like 10 seconds. Like
no, but how about within the first round, please?
Yeah, first second round would be cool, but I just want to be a superior rule set finish. That'd be sensational. And that would be Sodakin's way of like thumbing his nose at the Dingleberry Dana and the UFC, saying, hey, you guys are pussies. You don't allow these superior rule set strikes. Now I'm in a better promotion that does. And you're moving on to the Heavyweight Grand Prix final and it just, or semifinals, I should say. And I just can't wait. And I can't wait. And if it is awesome, I can't wait to start the trolling on Drew and all the rest of the haters and how this Heavyweight Grand Prix is going to be saved by this. And then, going into the semifinal matchups, we already know that the Ueda and Merrick are going to be facing each other. So whoever's the winner of this bout right here. Is that
officially announced or is it rumored?
I thought it was officially announced.
For me, I'm looking at the Wikipedia bracket, and by the way, Just Bleed Band is saying, think we finally get the first finish of the superior rule set on this card?
Very possible.
Yeah, technically we had one on the previous card. There was a grounded knee in the finish of oh gosh, I'm blanking on now. I forget if it was the soccer kid star, the soccer star's kid fight.
Oh, you're talking about Kota Miura against the Korean kickboxer.
Yeah, and didn't he got TKO'd finish, and one of those strikes and TKO finish was a grounded knee, if I remember correctly. But anyways, it's Just Bleed Fan is technically correct because there has not been an actual singular strike, superior rule set strike finish yet this year. So hopefully, yes, Just Bleed Fan, to answer your question, yes, there's definitely a good potential, especially if they use. Did you see how small the cage was for the World Series event in Korea?
And Jay, I do think that's because that venue in the Paradise City, whatever they were in, whatever, like a ballroom or something, that was a very small venue.
Yeah,
so I do think it'll be big. I could be wrong, but I do think it's going to be bigger because of obviously the bigger arena in Sapporo.
Okay, so it might be a little bit bigger, but hopefully it'll still be like a WC size, smaller size cage, and that'll force the action, and we'll get a bunch of finishes. And if it does, remember the first Trigger event, you guys? The first Trigger event, that was what their cage series was called before it was switched over to Landmark.
For the potential scandal, yeah.
Yeah. So the first trigger event, actually the first couple of trigger events, had a bunch of superior rule set finishes, but especially the first one, trigger first, dude, there was like 3 sensational superior rule set finishes on that card in their first cage event. It was, I still got the tweet pinned to my timeline. It was so freaking awesome. I love that. So this is, we got 15 superior rule set bouts in the cage on Landmark 11. Yeah, Just Bleed fan, I think we got a very good chance. And you know why he's asking that? Because in the RIZIN Discord, the RIZIN FF fans Discord server, we have a fantasy league, a RIZIN fantasy league going where you get extra points if the finish happens and it's a superior rule set finish. So yes, that would be something worth betting on this time, Just Bleed fan, for the RIZIN fantasy league. Everybody go check out the RIZIN Discord and join that fantasy league. It's a lot of fun. It adds extra layer of fun to the fights.
I don't know about you, Jay, but I'd rather draft Cooper Flag.
Wow.
That's basketball, though.
I know. I'm poking fun at the fact that I'm in a basketball league and I dropped 4 spots. So,
Quick, before we get to talking about the other heavyweight fight, and I do mean other, considering the fact this is the first time that, a certain fighter will be able to fight somebody his own damn size.
And in rules and in a rule set that, let's face it, suits him much better.
Yeah, but still though, point of the matter is when it comes down to the semifinals, as Jay Wolf mentioned, the winner will face off against Jose Augusto.
Yeah.
Who do you think stands a better chance at defeating Jose Augusto?
Oh, Soldotkin 100%.
Soldotkin 100%. He can nullify a bigger wrestler. Or a wrestler better than His Majesty can.
Okay, that was a stupid question for me to ask. I meant to ask, who do you think has the better chance at finishing Augusto?
Soldotkin.
Yeah, Soldotkin. No, Soldotkin's one of the favorites. He was the premier fight of the Heavyweight Grand Prix. That's why it was such a bummer that got postponed from Otoko Matsuri. But at the same time, now it enables them to really showcase him for him by himself for the Heavyweight Grand Prix right here. And then if he puts on a great performance, it's going to elevate the Heavyweight Grand Prix for me. And just really, I can't wait to rub it in the haters' faces.
With all due respect, Jade, I think the way you salvage this, because those first two of those 3 fights were so damaging, I think the way that you can salvage it is by Soldotkin putting on a very good performance, and then the better fights at, I would assume, Super RIZIN 4, and then the final hopefully being Soldotkin Ueda. I think that's the dream. Well,
that is 100% the final that they're hoping for is Soldotkin Ueda, and that's the final we're all hoping for, to be honest with you. We're hoping for that since the beginning of the Heavyweight Grand Prix, to be honest with you. So that's, and then remember the winner of this Heavyweight Grand Prix is going to face Ryan Bader he's going to have an Oscar-winning performance on the Smash Machine movie coming out in October, and then carry that momentum into New Year's Eve to face the winner of this Heavyweight Grand Prix. So that's going to be pretty awesome. I can't wait.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Oscar-winning is Snow White.
But now we go from a fight that everybody's anticipating to a fight that really, let's face it, no one's antanticipating this.
Well, I am.
What do you mean? You talking about Cena's fight?
Yeah.
Dude,
I'm definitely looking forward to this one.
Of course. And by the way, shout out to Combat Sports today. They're saying they need to sign Jairzinho Rosenstruik, Robelis DePayne, and Ben Rothwell because they'd be great fits for RIZIN.
You darn right, Combat Sports Today. Thank you for following and listening. And man, shout out to the Combat Sports Today family. You guys do excellent, excellent work. Everybody go follow them on Twitter, X, Instagram, wherever they have an account. They just do fantastic content. And I mean, from the interviews to their every tweet they have graphics and stuff with their tweets. And they cover the Epic RIZIN Fighting Federation. But I think they're the best of the quote unquote mainstream media, in my opinion. So just big shout out to the Combat Sports Today news fam, and thank you for listening, guys. And all 3 of those fighters you're talking about, 100% yes. And we could even add another one with Aisha from the City Life Project. He loves Bill DeFries. That'd be another fantastic
Are
one.
you sure that he would want to go to RIZIN? Because he is undefeated in KSW for two reasons. One, because they need heavyweight power over there. The other is because if he goes anywhere else, he just get his ass whooped.
And he won't get paid nearly as much.
And, well, they can have a good collaboration super fight. Maybe. We'll see.
And
look at that. Combat Sports Today News has some RIZIN interviews coming. Oh, man. Fantastic. Cannot wait for that. Everybody go follow Combat Sports Today News and check out those interviews coming soon. Cannot wait for that. You guys do fantastic work. So thank you. And just can't wait to see those.
Yes, but of course, now we get off of all that excitement to talk about a fight that to me won't be. I mean, and that will be the hero of foul play and not giving a fuck. Sina Karimian taking Kaiju Killer Hidetaka Arato. First of all, for the more experienced as far as MMA goes, Arato. He is 5 feet 10 inches tall. Last I checked, he probably weighed in a hamburger short of 300 pounds. But still, though, point of the matter is he's a fun, lovable fighter. He was, Just Bleed fans adding more to the fire, bro. Belly Stepane is currently in Karate Combat, and Ben Rothwell is the current BKFC heavyweight champion.
But we're collaborating with BKFC still, and several Karate Combat guys have come over to the Epic RIZIN before. So I mean, it's possible. That's all we're saying.
But
and remember, and Combat Sports Today News fam listed BG Boy Rosenstruck first. So, and he has still not signed with anywhere. Last we checked, right?
I thought he was rumored to be in negotiations with Glory.
Yeah, but he hasn't signed nothing, and he's facing. Is he fighting at like some backyard brawl or bare knuckle brawl or something?
Yeah, he's fighting in Dirty Boxing.
Dirty Boxing, that's what it is. Thank you. Oh yeah, look, Combat Sports Today News knows they know exactly what's up. Promotions all out freedom, and they're doing collaboration with the Epic RIZIN. 100% possible.
Yeah, but still though, back to Arato though. The
Kaiju Killer.
Yeah, the Kaiju Killer. 37 years of age, born May 5th, 1988. So let's just say he's not going to get anywhere near the heavyweight title. The only title he'll be getting is a big plate of food.
Or Grachan.
Yes, of course. But still, 5'10", about a stack of ribs short of 300 pounds. 37 years of age, originally from Itami, Hyogo, originally from Itami, Hyogo, Japan, fighting out of, or basically eating house and home out of Paresta, Osaka, Japan. Okay, enough fat jokes. 11-7 overall. He's 11-1 overall. 7 of his 11 wins come by way of knockout. 4 of them in the first round. He's a veteran of the illest mother-loving dojo on the planet, Full Metal Dojo. He's a veteran of Grachan. He's the former heavyweight title contender in Hexagon MMA, of which he lost to Prince Al-Nala.
No, it's His Majesty.
Okay, His Majesty. And he most recently got a ground and pound knockout win over Shinosuke Oba at Grachan 72 on February 1st.
And what was that guy's record? 5-17?
5-9, but you can.
Okay, I was somewhat close.
Yeah, somewhat close. But and his biggest win on record, aside from the win he got over Taka Kenshin,
where he was getting his butt kicked.
Yeah,
Homer Simpson style.
But hey, that was a fantastic comeback by him.
It was, but I'm just saying it reminded me of Homer Simpson against when he was a boxer.
Yeah, well, it's because Taka Kenshin had low fight IQ to where, dude, if he would have thrown a grounded knee or a grounded kick, he would have finished him. But he didn't. He was trying to do, punches, and that allowed Kaiju Killer to get back in the fight and beat him. So it's great performance by Kaiju Killer.
But still, though, his biggest win on his record is a win over wilted lettuce veteran Ryuta Sakurai, who once fought in KSW. Let me be real. Ryuta Sakurai once fought in KSW. He's a longtime veteran of Deep. He fought 3 times in Pride FC.
Mm-hmm.
let's just face it. The dude basically seen better days when he fought Arato, and he was just out of his element against him.
Yeah. Arado would be really good in the Megaton division.
Oh, yeah. For sure he would. If the Megaton division still actually had, if the Megaton division in Deep still actually had firepower.
I think they do. I think Ryo Sakai is fighting someone in a couple months.
Okay.
Well, good. Glad it's still alive then.
We'll basically be on the lookout for it, but we better be on the lookout for this dude basically doing some dirty shit, and that meaning the hero of foul play and not giving a fuck, Sina Karimian. He is 6 feet 7 inches tall. At last check, he weighed in at around 199 pounds. Was that his weight for his last fight?
I doubt that. I bet you it was more.
Okay, actually, let me be real. It was 216 pounds, but still, though, point of the matter is, he is the supposed hero of foul play.
Former K1 Cruiserweight champion.
Yeah, the former K1 Cruiserweight champion. His kickboxing record is 15 wins, 5 losses, and 1 no contest, with 7 of those 15 wins by way of knockout. Originally from Isfahan, Iran, fighting out of Tokyo, Japan, and Power Up Dreams. He obviously ended his kickboxing career. Well, actually, no. I wouldn't say he's done with kickboxing career yet, but his last 5 fights left very little to be happy about. He got knocked out. No, he lost to Claudio Grizzly Astarte in the 2023 K1 Reboot Grand Prix semis. He got embarrassed by Liu Sha, Liu space CE, for the Cruiserweight title in K1. He got embarrassed again by Claudio Grizzly Astarte to the point where they basically had to end the fight early because Homeboy kept aiming toward Grizzly's head, the back of his head.
And Grizzly wasn't taking that.
Yeah, of course he wasn't. He had he treated Daichi Kimura's yam bag like it was a moving target, and he got embarrassed by Tomas Mosny back at Glory 99. Other than that, when it comes down to his mixed martial art, when it comes down to his RIZIN career, let's just say he just keeps fighting opponents that are 2 sizes too small.
And he got freaking outboxed handily by Rukia.
Yep.
Was that the one where he had the iron chin ref that took a right hook from him?
Yep. He basically tried to bend the rules in his favor, throwing spinning back fist, and then he ended up getting embarrassed by Koji Tanaka, who's used to fighting big guys. Ask Jizzy Mac.
Koji didn't embarrass himself. How about that?
Yeah, that was a good fight. I was impressed. I would like to see some Shoryuken uppercuts, Street Fighter 2 style. But
you mean like what Tenshin did on Sunday?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Would like to see that in the Sina Cozy fight, but that's okay. It was a good performance, so looking forward to this one. I'm surprised that Jay Chris, you don't like this one, man. I'm with Mr. Ohio. I think it's gonna be awesome. I
don't like this one because even though this will be his first mixed martial arts bout, I still have a feeling that Sina Karimian is going to pull out some shady shit.
Like over under how many Diku Kikus you think are going to be? 2 or 3? 5.
Yeah, this is the rule set where you can basically do anything but hair pulling and eye gouging.
And how many eye gouges do you think are going to be? Is it going to be like a John Jones fight or what?
I'm going to go over under 5 fouls.
So it could be either groin shots or eye pokes then for 5 of them.
Or headbutts.
You know what?
Or headbutts, that's right.
I treat this like an NBA game. Over under 6 fouls.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, if he gets 6 fouls, it fouls out, Mr. Ohio wins.
How about over under how many times Cena complains?
Oh,
dude.
Give it 2.
Can we go 10 to 20?
Seriously.
It only takes 2 for him to blow a fuse.
No, but it's going to be a lot of fun though, because I can't wait to see what he's going to do in a superior rule set. I agree 100%, Mr. Ohio, that it's. I mean, this is his first mixed martial arts bout, right?
Yeah, he's never done this before. How much grappling has he seriously been doing?
Yes, and I mean, and he's facing an actual heavyweight this time. So I mean, there's a lot of potential in this bout, and I'm pretty excited for it. A lot of people
Hopefully, it'll be entertaining for the wrong reasons,
or the right reasons, we could say.
Stepping your boundaries when you say that.
No, but it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun either way.
It's a freak show, and I'm kind of glad it's happening. Actually,
yeah. And then what if he puts on a good performance? What if he shows decent takedown defense against Kaiju Killer, and what if he scores a sensational knockout or a sensational banger fight?
I mean, think of it. He's a kickboxer by trade. Ground game ain't gonna be his specialty.
Well, I'm talking about like ground and pound, like stomps or grounded kicks, right? Or grounded knees.
Or, yeah, and that's what I mean. That's what I mean. He can basically work those to his favor, just as long as they're nowhere near the groin area. But the point of the matter is, when it comes down to Sina Karimian, I just hope that he doesn't do anything stupid. So
that's not gonna happen.
There's going to be some kind of shenanigans happening. And look, Just Bleed fans said it. Okay, that's what it is. It's going to be over under 4.5 fouls. So 5 wins.
Honestly, with him, I would say over. Jeez.
This is fun. See, this is already fun. We're already making up a prop bet for this bout right here. How can you not say this is fun, Jake Rich?
I mean, it is fun, but then again, I hope it doesn't become.
I don't either, but it's the spectacle with Cena and his history. That's the allure of this fight.
Dude, you guys should see it from the glass half full. I mean, actually, this is a win-win. If there's a bunch of fouls and stuff, it's going to be fun for the prop bet we just made up. And what if he puts on a good performance? Then there's going to be future heavyweight matchups in mixed martial arts for him on a superior rule set. I mean,
but here's the thing, though.
It's win-win.
Say this. Considering the fact that the Heavyweight Grand Prix is going on right now, and Sina Karimian was basically saying, RIZIN has a shitty heavyweight division, knowing damn well that the winner of the Heavyweight Grand Prix is facing Ryan Bader at the end of the year. Don't y'all think that Sina Karimian would have done well in the Heavyweight Grand Prix?
Maybe it's like an alternate. Maybe throw in there like Ed Polo King versus as an alternate bout or something.
A reserve match? Do you do a reserve match? Maybe.
Yeah. How about with Ed Polo King?
I mean, that would be fun, but then again, you also run the risk of it being a freak show because of Ed Polo King's height.
What you think? Cena's a midget?
I'm not saying that he's a midget. The dude is 6'6".
Of course, yeah. So I mean, what's the problem?
I mean, it'd be like two skyscrapers just trying to beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, what's the problem? I think that'd be awesome. I like it.
I mean, last thing you want is a basketball. I mean, last thing you want is a basketball player type brawl like Shaq and Charles Barkley 25 years ago.
I was going to say Malice at the Palace.
Yes, that too. But still.
Well, what about, remember Shammy Schilt?
Yeah.
Shammy Schilt 6'11", but he could actually fight, and he was actually a decent MMA fighter.
Stephen Struve could too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
remember, and for what it's worth, Semi Schilt was in MMA before he transitioned to K1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I'm saying.
Last thing I want to see is two big men over 6'5" trying to beat the hell out of each other, especially if it's Sina Karimian versus Ed Polo King.
Oh, we'll have to agree to disagree then, because I think that'd be awesome. So, agree to disagree.
I mean, it'd be like two Transformers trying to beat the shit out of each other. Or better yet, not two Transformers, but two Gundam-era fighters.
Well, let's see how the fight goes here with Kaiju Killer.
Oh, you're talking about G Gundam, Domon Kashu.
Yes, G Gundam. But still, though, point of the matter is, I think Sina Karimian could have done better in the RIZIN Heavyweight Grand Prix. I just think that when it comes down to this particular fight that he's going to have, I hope he doesn't embarrass himself or the folks watching this.
I don't think he could have done better than the Heavyweight Grand Prix. No way. He might have even made Daniel James or Augusto look like killers. So.
Yep. Oh my God, that's too much right there. But moving right along, we go from the heavyweights to the bantamweights. And this next fight, well, let's just say it might have some type of interest, at least to me. The Twister, Joji Goto.
Yes.
Yep. Wait a minute, what were you saying?
Oh, yes, I'm looking forward to this fight.
Oh, yeah. The Twister, Joji Goto versus Jinosuke Kashimura. First of all, Mr. Twister. And I don't mean the rapper from Chicago either. Goto, 17-8-1 with 13 of his 17 wins by way of finish. 9 knockouts, 4 in the first round, 4 submissions, 2 in the first round. I think all of them are by way of, no, wait, actually, let's see here. Looking down the list, rear naked choke, heel hook, no, wait, rear naked choke, 2 twisters, and a guillotine choke. Those are his submissions, but still don't. He's 17-8-1 in MMA, 13 of his 17 wins by way of finish. Had that one loss in that downed one championship to Elias Eziev at One Friday Fight 61 last May. But bounced back by going 1-1, losing to Mondo Gutierrez, UFC veteran, and knocking out Daiki Gojima back at Pancrase 352 back in March. Other than that, he's 2-0 in the RIZIN ring or cage. Both of his wins by way of twister submission, by the way, when he twisted Trent Nino Loco Gurdham and Junior Ibichu Hibino into knots. Oh, and by the way, as far as his height and weight goes, he's 5'8", 134.25 pounds, and another hometown boy fighting out of Sapporo, Hokkaido, Japan. 29 years of age, by the way. March 6, 1996. No, March 9th, 1996 is his birth date. And his opponent, Jinosuke Kashimura. Jinnosuke Kashimura. 8-4 is his MMA record. 23 years of age. All of 23. Born August 12th of 2001. Again, we are getting old. Representing Strawweight Toride, fighting out of Toride, Ibaraki, Japan. He holds a record of 8-4 overall. All 8 of his wins by way of submission, by the way. 7 of them in the first round. He is a 4-2 record holder in D, but 3-1 record holder in Pancrase. And he fought in the road to UFC tournament, losing to Juan Ben Ki, who just got knocked out by Roberto Satoshi de Souza. This will be his RIZIN debut. So now that I pretty much ran my larynx out, basically talking about this fight, do you think that Joji's going to twist himself into a bad time here against a guy with 7 first-round submissions to his credit?
Want me to go first?
Yeah,
Mr. Ohio, I think you're most hyped about this one.
I am. I love Kashimura. As Jay Chris said, he's a really good grappler. Goto is too. I think Kashimura is better. And Kashimura is what? I believe 23, 24, something like that.
23.
Yep, 23, about to be 24 in 2 months.
I've been hoping that he would come to RIZIN for a while, and I'm really happy that as I've said, I'm really happy that he is. 2 grapplers fighting. I think Kashimura is a better grappler. I don't think he'll get caught in a twister like Hibino and Gurdam did. Mm-hmm. And I just think he's more versatile in terms of his submissions and his ground game than Goto is. I think Goto needs to keep this fight standing in order to win. So Jinosuke's stand-up, I didn't think it was that good. Goto's isn't great, but I would think it's better than Kashimura. So I expect this to be a really fun fight, but in the end, I do think Kashimura submits him probably round 2.
Okay, and Jay, what say you?
Oh, Mr. Ohio's getting me hyped for this one. I think it's going to be a grappler's delight, especially based on what Mr. Ohio was talking about right there. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Mr. Twister can do, Joji Goto, and this Kashimura's. You said this is debut in RIZIN, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and you've been looking forward to this one for a while, so that gets me even more hyped for it. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this one and seeing if it can be a grappler's delight, like Mr. Ohio was talking about, and if Kashimura can actually choke out or submit the Mr. Twister. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and I'm happy that there's another young bantamweight that they're bringing in. That's what they need to do. I know I've said it ad nauseum too many times already, but that's literally what they need to do and find potential guys. And Kashimura is definitely one of them. Nice.
Oh, that's awesome. That makes me even more hyped for this card now. For this fight on this card, I'm already super hyped for this card, but for this fight right here, it makes me more hyped.
When you have a card like Landmark, these are the type of fighters, the type of fights you book.
Yeah, I mean they're doing, because remember with RIZIN Trigger, right? It was supposed to be like vets and young guys, up and coming guys, stuff like that. And now they sort of when they change it up to Landmark, now it's more like title contenders and up and coming guys like this, and so it's some good booking. I like it, especially now after hearing Mr. Ohio's breakdown of that bout. Man, I'm hoping for a grappler's delight and a new star in the bantamweight division to be born. A younger star, RIZIN star, I should say.
Yes, and that's what I was thinking that Nose would have been, but clearly he had different plans. So
yeah, well, we'll see. The jury's still out on him too. So there's a bunch of guys coming up, and especially in the bantamweight division, and all the divisions actually. To be honest with you, they got a bunch of. And wait, what are the divisions again that run the Koshian tournaments again this year? Wasn't it
heavyweight? And I think was it heavyweight and flyweight or no bantam or lightweight? I can't remember, but I thought women's super atomweight. I think it was heavyweight, and I forgot the third one. But I think
so it was heavyweight, and definitely one of them was women's atomweight, and then I forget what the third one is as well. It was flyweight or bantamweight.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head what the third one was, but I'm positive the heavyweight was one of the two male ones.
And what was the one that they just ran where Riceball Kid won? Was that featherweight or
flyweight? I thought it was flyweight.
Oh, it was flyweight. Okay, no, you're right. It was flyweight. And Riceball Kid, he's looking like he's going to be a budding star right there. So
match him better than fighting like a 760 fight freaking veteran in his debut, but progress.
Yeah, but still, I mean, look, the point is they're gaining a bunch of fighters that have star potential here, young guys as well. And this bout right here is just another one that could be added to the mix right there. And with the Koshian tournaments coming up again, 3 of them again this year, yeah, man, the future's looking bright.
It is. And although I will say, in terms of their two biggest stars, Mikuru and Ren, those, when you have that type of charisma, that's maybe not once in a generation, like once every 5-10 years. So, but this is how you find those people. You just keep scouting good fighters in the lower weight classes or the smaller organizations, and eventually one will hit.
Exactly. And before we continue, let's go ahead
for the day.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But let's go ahead and give a shout out to S-Dog's MMA Talk. He basically has, let's just say we like putting over those who talk about MMA that aren't about the, major league, so to speak. Well, actually, he is a UFC predictor, UFC podcaster, but he also enjoys talking about fight sports as well from other different aspects. So he just wanted to say what's happening.
What's happening, S-Dogs? Thanks for listening and tuning in here. It's awesome. Great to have you aboard.
Mm-hmm. And as far as the Koshian tournament goes, and I'm looking at the list right now, it's flyweight, atomweight, and heavyweight.
Okay, so I had 2 of the 3 right. I thought it was like bantam or feather for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. Me too. Because you know what it is, Mr. Ohio, is because the one that just happened where Riceball Kid won was at flyweight. So we're confused, like, they're going to run another flyweight one. And then, so that's what is confusing us.
Okay.
S-Dog says, first-time listener. Oh, hey, thanks, brother. Appreciate you listening to us. And we definitely will keep up the good work. We've been doing it ever since RIZIN first started, and we're going to continue until RIZIN until infinity.
And beyond.
one of us are doing this, but still though. Let's go ahead and move on to the lone women's fight on this card. Unfortunately, that is, I mean, hopefully it'll be a damn good fight, and that we can basically put over Andrew's previous comments about tension. But still, though, it's Haruka Hasegawa versus
AKA Salt.
Okay, Haruka Hasegawa versus Machi Fukuda, aka Salt versus versus
Machi.
Yeah, Salt versus Machi.
There you go.
But yeah, for Salt, she's 5-5 overall, 34 years of age, born December 5th, 1990. She's a hometown girl fighting out of Mars Gym in Sapporo, Hokkaido, Japan. 5'6", 115.5 pounds. In her professional MMA career, 4 of her 5 wins come by way of decision. The lone outlier was a knockout win in Shooto back in December 2023, actually. She is the current strawweight Queen of Pancrase champion. She most recently lost in RIZIN to Sari Oshima via V-Cross arm lock at RIZIN 43 back in June of 2023. And she also fought Karen Date twice in Pancrase. As far as her opponent goes, Machi Fukuda, or Machi for short, 7-2 overall, fighting out of Toshigi, Japan, all of 22 years old, born June the 3rd, 2003. She just celebrated her 22nd birthday a week ago. But still, though, 5 foot, 115. She holds a professional MMA record of 7-2. 5 of her 7 wins by way of finish, 4 submissions, and a KO. She is currently 2-0 inside the RIZIN Fighting Federation, and her 2 wins were 2 big wins over Ayaka Watanabe at RIZIN Landmark 6 in Nagoya back in October 2023, and Seo Young Park back at RIZIN 50 on March 29th via second round knockout. This after she knocked out Amp the Pocket Rocket, Suwanan Boomsorn back at Deep Jewels 47 back on November 23rd, 2024. But other than that, she has lost to Arisa Matsuda and Siwoo Park in back-to-back deep shows in the November to May 2023-2024 window. So now that I basically wasted my larynx talking about, the particulars of these 2 fighters, who I'm calling by their full names, despite what Andrew is basically saying in the comments. Hey, imagine if it was Salt versus Machika.
That sounds pretty good right about now.
Yeah, yeah, of course. But still, though, aside from that, how do you think this fight will excite us? Because when it comes down to it, Andrew basically talked about women's atomweight title contention with Seika Izawa potentially moving on to the UFC. And let me pull up this comment here. When RIZIN announced Izawa's next defense, they set a precedent that no one needs any credentials for a title shot.
That's not true, dude. That's not.
I don't know what the credentials or lack thereof of the Korean fighter that she's facing. I don't know.
But yeah, still,
it's because Reina's hurt, guys. She's still hurt. She's recovering from a was it eye injury or what was it that hurt Reina?
Yeah. Andrew's right. Salt's not good. This is a showcase for Machi.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Machi's a good grappler. Salt's 500 for a reason.
Well, isn't Salt the current Pancrase champion?
Yeah,
I get that, but she's 5-5. So how good is that division really?
Remember, records don't tell a story, especially for the Japanese fighters, because of the way they match them up and stuff. So, I mean, if she's the current Pancrase champion, I mean, that shows she knows how to fight a little bit.
Yeah, she's the current strawweight Queen of Pancrase champion, but let's face it, that division, the strawweight division, needs a lot of work. And Machi basically said, I want a strawweight division in RIZIN. Well,
she ain't going to get it. She's going to have to go to 108.
Yeah, she's either gonna have to go to that damned one championship or to Invicta.
Yes.
Or why can't they bring some fighters over for her?
Because there's only one women's division in RIZIN. It's 108
for now. But
but even that. But how long is that? How long until RIZIN would make a second women's division?
Well, let's see how this fight goes. Let's see. Machi is on the up, on the up and up, rising through with popularity and everything.
They're pushing her for sure, and she's a very good grappler. She should be able to win this fight handily.
Okay, then let's see how she does. What if she puts on an awesome performance, an exciting performance, gets this fantastic submission, or even a knockout or whatever. I mean, you think that would? I mean, there's a lot of other organizations out there that have Strawweight. That's one of the most popular women's division because it's one of the ones that the UFC has, obviously. So that makes it more popular throughout the world. I mean, there's Combate Global, not just Invicta does a women's bout. Remember, Combate Global does them. Deep Jewels has a bunch of them, right there in Japan. I mean,
and then the obvious one, if Machi wins this, the obvious fight to make after this would be the winner of Moeri. If they're in the same weight class, I'm not 100% sure. Will be Moeri Suda versus Noel.
And that's coming up at the deep bout. Oh, Super RIZIN 4. Sorry.
Or
well, then there you go. So
if you want to really test Machi, maybe you put her in with Ayaka Hamasaki.
You think she's ready for that right now?
I don't know.
Let's see how the bout goes.
There's not many fighters for her right now. And if you want to really test her, I would think Hamasaki is really the only one I can think of outside of maybe having her fight Oshima. Although Oshima is probably way too small for her. But even
I was going to say, isn't she a super atomweight or atom weight?
She might even be. Is she microweight?
Microweight, yeah. So she's two weight classes smaller.
But with the lack of that weight division in RIZIN, Oshima's had to move up a lot in weight to fight in those divisions.
Let's see how the Super RIZIN 4 strawweight bout goes with Noelle and the other girls. So we'll see. I mean, they could be built. And like I was saying, man, there's a bunch of other organizations out there that does strawweight fights for women. Yeah. So there's a potential there. And they can't keep the same amount of division. They've got to expand eventually. The Epic Horizon Fight Federation has got to expand the weight divisions eventually. I mean, they're already started with heavyweight. So
I would say strawweight would be. I think they should start a strawweight division.
I think that's what they're going to do. I really do. I think
I'm talking about men's strawweight, actually.
Oh, men's strawweight? Okay, yeah. There's another one. Absolutely.
Because I think there's a lot of good Japanese fighters who are too small for flyweight. Your Yutaro Muramoto's, your Joa Rise of the world, Daiichi Kitakata. Those are three right there that I think would be better at strawweight as opposed to flyweight, where they're just way too small, I think. And I'm sure there's more. You could bring in a bunch of people. I'll just say that.
Oh, hey, Sound of City Life Project. He says, "Holy fuck, Jay Wolf. What do you mean, brother? Is something I said? Oh, plus 10 or oh, thanks, brother. Appreciate you." So and also, I'm gonna be the City Life Project is with Aisha, and we're gonna be doing a show here later on. We're gonna record it tonight and watch for that to drop in the next couple of days before the event. We're gonna have. I think the official fight odds have dropped, or they're dropping pretty soon here. So we'll have those on that show as well. So everybody check out that show as well. It's a fantastic program with Aisha and the City Life Project.
Oh, yeah, of course. And now that we're done talking about the lone women.
Hey, Chris, right here.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
It's basically not good to eat while talking.
I know. You should wait till the show's over.
I mean, come to think of it, when you're hungry, you can't basically force yourself to sit there.
I mean, you could. It's not recommended. But...
Oh, and by the way, I should just basically said to you, Mr. Soltez.
Yeah, we've been talking about that.
That you and Aisha are going to collaborate soon. Y'all. I mean, he's been busy moving. Boys finally settled.
Yeah,
nice.
Been telling him the magic of Saruga.com.
Oh, yeah. Good to see you guys, by the way.
You too, brother. thank you for listening, and everybody listening actually too as well. So
Yes. Much appreciated.
Great to have you.
Back on task, people. Come on.
Okay, all right. Yeah, the clock's ticking here. We got a couple more bouts, then we're done.
Yeah, we got a couple of more bouts to actually give a damn about. First of all, books on books on books. But still, though, Taichi Nakajima versus Kosuke Terashima, or Koro, as what the kids call him.
Or as what RIZIN is marketing him as, literally, Izawa's man.
Yeah.
Swear to God. It's in the trailer. It's in the Japanese trailer. Izawa no Otoko, Koro.
Oh,
so,
wow.
is this Izawa's boyfriend or
That's her husband?
Oh, it's her husband. Okay.
Yeah, they're married.
Nice.
As far as I know.
But still, though, Taichi Nakajima versus Mr. Seika Izawa, so to speak. Let's just Taichi Nakajima, 36 years of age, born March 19th, 1989, representing Paresta Tokyo and fighting out of Nishi Tokyo, Tokyo, Japan. Nishi Tokyo, the city, Tokyo, the prefecture, Japan. Oh, and in addition to fighting out of Paresta Tokyo, he fights also out of, as I'm looking on Sherdog right now, he also fights out of Lotus Setagaya. So, and
hey, real quick, J. Chris, speaking of Sherdog, want to give a shout out and RIP to Jordan Breen, who just passed away recently.
Mm-hmm.
So since you brought up Sherdog, he was a podcaster guy for Sherdog. So just want to give a shout out real quick to him.
Oh, yeah. Rest in peace, Jordan Breen, because if it wasn't for him, our Japanese MMA fandom would not be what it is today.
Fight Finder?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Fight Finder. But still, though, when it comes down to Nakajima, he fought 5 times in ACB, back before the whole allegations of their owner being a dictator and a strong hand were true. But still, though, point of the matter is he fought 5 times in ACB. He went 2-3 over there. He is a former interim King of Pancrase Bantamweight champion, current King of Pancrase Bantamweight champion. He fought Vugar Karamov in RIZIN, in between becoming the interim and the full-time King of Pancrase in the Bantamweight division. Got choked out at RIZIN 35. He fought twice in RIZIN after becoming the Bantamweight Kingpin in Pancrase, defeating Ryo Okada, getting knocked out by Sushul Kim. So, yeah, this will be his first fight in RIZIN in a little over a year.
Yes.
And his most recent fight was a knockout win over Hiroyuki Hulk Oshiro back at Deep 2025 Tokyo Impact second round on April 13th. Now, as far as Mr. Seika Izawa goes, Kosuke Koro Terashima, 20 wins, 21 losses, 5 draws. 36 years of age. So, hey, he's older than his wife by about 10 years. No, that would be a fucking nightmare if it was 20. Good Lord.
Nothing wrong with the age gap. Come on.
No.
Bill Belichick?
Oh my God. Don't even fucking start. So, Mr. Terashima, Mr. Seika Izawa, so to speak, 36 years of age, born June 30th, 1988, represented by Jutsu Keshukai T-Live by way of Royce Gym and Japan Top Team out of Tokyo, Japan. His professional MMA record, 20 wins, 21 losses, 5 draws. He fought, He fought 46 times as a mixed martial artist. His professional MMA record is 20 wins, 21 losses, and 5 draws. 13 of his 20 wins by way of finish, 11 submissions, 2 knockouts. Although he is a longtime veteran of Deep, he is the former Deep interim featherweight champion, by the way. He is a longtime veteran of Deep, Pancrase, Shudo, and Road FC. he also fought one time in RIZIN, and that was all the way back in 2022 at RIZIN Landmark 2.
Mm-hmm.
When he defeated Takuma Masuda. That was before he became the deep interim featherweight champion. This will be his first fight in the promotion in over 3 years. And oh, by the way, Andrew is basically, as he's chastising me, saying, his name is Coral, damn it. Basically chastising me while also reminding all of you that this is a rematch between these two, if I'm not mistaken. When was the last time they fought again?
Oh, yeah, you asking us?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I have to look it up.
Oh my God. I can barely rely on y'all for anything.
Hey, you gotta prep us for that. Say, hey, I'm gonna ask y'all when the last fight was.
Still though, long story short, the last time these two fought against each other was back in April of 2012 when Kosuke Koro Terashima defeated Taichi Nakajima via unanimous decision. Pancrase Progress Tour Volume 5. And I think that was back when Pancrase was still fighting in a ring, not a cage.
When did they make that transition? Because I don't remember that.
I think they made the transition probably around, if I remember correctly, I watched Inside MMA when they made this transition. I think it was around 2014.
2014. Okay.
It probably coincided when they went on Fight Pass.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Dingleberry Dana forced them to go into the cage.
No. Actually, he forced them to fight under unified rules. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But still, though, point of the matter is these two haven't fought each other in 13 years.
Like Solchu Kim and Shoko Sato.
Mm-hmm. So, who do you think is going to have the upper hand when it comes down to this fight? Seika's husband or Taichi Nakajima?
I'm going to say Nakajima. When we saw him fight in RIZIN 44, he looked against Okada.
Mm-hmm.
He looked phenomenal. Like his stand-up was frankly brilliant. And he didn't look like someone who had, I believe, 13 losses at that time, 12, 13 losses, whatever it was. His grappling and his takedown defense are pretty good too. And I thought he was beating Solchu Kim before he got caught. I think it was a perfect left hand, if I remember right. So I think he's much better than his record indicates, like legitimately better than 13, 14 losses, whatever it is. And solid in all aspects. And Koro is just a journeyman. I know he beat him 13 years ago, but Nakajima's improved so much. And I do think that he, coming off a win instead, as opposed to the loss to Kim, he'll have more confidence.
I see. Jay Wolf?
I'm going to pick the opposite here. I'm going to go with Koro. Because, hey, when is his wife going to be fighting? Is she on Super RIZIN 4, right?
Yes, against that South Korea, that Road FC 5-0-1 girl.
Yeah,
I don't remember her name.
So he's not going to want to besmirch the family name, so to speak, before Sekizawa and her fight Super RIZIN 4. He's going to want to come in there. Plus, also look at his record. If he gets a win here, he goes to 21-21. So he'll be 500. So he's gonna want to really, he's gonna want to get to 500. And he's gonna want to put it down for the Izawa name. I guess. Izawa's not his surname. I guess, that's his wife's name, but he doesn't want to embarrass the family before his wife fights the Super RIZIN 4, and he wants to get to 500. So I'm going to say he's going to put a little extra chip on his shoulder here, and he's going to get it done, but we'll see.
I thought you were going to basically say, I thought you were going to basically Death Note that shit and say, I'm going to take a potato chip on my shoulder and then eat it. But still, though, point of the matter is this fight.
Mr. High, what are you reading the comments or something?
No, I'm like, what the hell are y'all talking about?
We're talking about a really old anime that was done like about a decade ago, dude.
Yeah, not my jam.
Understood. I mean, maybe that's just me being the anime geek, but still, though.
I watch it to a point.
Understood. But still, though, I think this fight's definitely going to be a lot different than how they did than how they did a dozen years ago. Plus,
who won that one, by the way?
Nakajima won that fight, right?
I thought Koro won that, but I thought Koro was the one who won by decision.
Let me check.
Yeah, I don't remember you saying who won that bout, just that they fought 12 years ago.
Nakajima won via decision.
Nakajima. I thought you said Koro won.
No, Nakajima won that fight via decision.
Oh man, so that kind of puts it in his favor. He's got one up on him already.
And also, I just think he's improved more in that. I just think he's better in all aspects.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're probably right, but I'm still going to stick with that Koro doesn't want to embarrass his wife for Super RIZIN 4. And yeah, see, Life probably knows what you're talking about, Jay Krish.
Yeah.
We'll get that potato chip off his shoulder to get the 500 record. So we'll see how it goes.
Of course. But now that we basically went through this entire fight card with ease, and we're not going to talk about the other MMA fight, the other 4 MMA fights that are going to take place because they are just of low quality. But
that I don't agree with. I think I can't pronounce the name versus Tatsuya Ando. I'm actually looking forward to that one.
Oh, you know what? That's what we're about to go ahead and talk about right now. But still, though, we're down to our last fight of interest, so to speak, and that's Makeram Gassanzade versus Tatsuya Ando. Gassanzade, teammate of Vugar Karamov, by the way. Well, actually, no, countryman of Vugar Karamov, by the way. Representing Gladiator Fight Team and Team Alpha Male, fighting out of Vladivostok, Russia, by way of Baku, Azerbaijan. 29 years of age for Makeram, born June 1st, 1996. He just celebrated his 29th birthday about 2 weeks ago. He holds a professional MMA record of 11-1. Half of his 11 wins come by way of knockout. 4 of those 5 via first round knockouts. As far as his RIZIN record goes, he's currently 1-0, beating Dark Rakudo Shirakawa back at RIZIN Landmark 10 on November 17th. His opponent is Tatsuya Ando, which Aisha, the City Light Project, said he's good, but he's about to go to sleep. 14-4-1 as a professional mixed martial artist. He's 35 years old, born April 26, 1990, fighting out of Suginami, Tokyo, Japan, he's a freelancer formerly representing Tribe Tokyo MMA, the iconic Tribe Tokyo MMA under Hayato Maha Sakurai.
Or is that under Ryo Chonan?
I think so, that too. But still, though, when it comes down to Ando, he is a former Shudo Bantamweight World Champion. He fought one time in that damned one championship, knocking out Ali Muhammad back on March 31st, 2023. And his most recent fight was in the Road to UFC tournament when he lost to Kanjie Zhu, Kangjiezhu, back on May 18, 2024. So this will be his first test this year to compete. Oh, and need to mention for him, who was also a Shudo, shootboxing, and Vale Tudo Japan veteran, this is his RIZIN debut.
Mm-hmm. Just a good, solid veteran.
Oh, yeah, a good, solid journeyman, especially. But he's also 10-2-1 in Shudo, by the way. So when it comes down to this fight, considering the fact that Vugar is fighting in the main event, how do y'all think that Makeram will do?
I'll just go first.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go first.
Okay, well, his fight with Shirakawa, I thought was pretty boring in November, I believe it was. He out-grappled him, out-wrestled Shirakawa, and wasn't super impressed. He's going to have to be a lot better with Ando, who's a much better fighter. Ando can punch. Grappling, okay. He doesn't have the best chin, and he's sloppy and kind of slow, but as I said, he can punch like hell. If he keeps the fight standing, it'll be interesting, but I don't think his takedown defense will hold up, and I think Ando loses by decision.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Chris, you want me to just go?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, he's probably eating stuff in his face right now, so I'll just finish going here real quick. I agree with Mike. I think, Gazanzade, I agree that his fight was kind of lackluster because he didn't know the assignment last fight. It's just a regular decision. So let's see if he learned the assignment and he throws superior rule set strikes, at least some ground and knees, for goodness sake. And then, because like Mike, Mr. Ohio was saying, you can probably get Ando to the ground. So it's pretty much, Gazanzade's fight to lose here. Well, City Life Product says he should have good odds as a unanimous decision. Yeah, definitely. We'll see. Yes, it is at 135 according to Tapology, your favorite website, Drew. So it's at 135. So it could possibly be another.
Give me a sec because I'm going to just look at the RIZIN site real quick. I thought it 61 kilos. So yes, it is bantamweight.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is their premier division, or one of their premier divisions, if not the premier division of the Epic RIZIN Fighting Federation. This is one where Shaydullaev is the current champion. Oh, wait, no. Shaydullaev is featherweight, right?
Mm-hmm. It's Naoki Inoue.
Yeah, Inoue, thank you very much. And here they're doing a title bout at Super RIZIN 4.
Shuya Fukuda.
So this one could be, a RIZIN contender could be coming out of this fight. And I'm not going to say it's a number one contender bout. No way. Gazanzade's got to, put on some great performances first before we sit there and say, hey, he's a clear-cut contender, right? Got
to make himself way more marketable than he showed last November. That's for sure.
Yeah. So and featherweight, I guess, is the premier division, but still bantamweight is a fantastic division as well. So just goes to show you here, we got a bunch of good guys coming up. Gazanzade could be one of them. Let's see how his performance goes here. I tend to agree with City Life Project and you, Mr. Ohio. I think it's going to be a Gazanzade fight right here. He's got the takedown. He's got the grappling that's better than Ando. So probably what I want to see, I just want to see if he knows the assignment. Did he learn the assignment? Did he learn the freaking assignment to be an exciting fighter here and get some grounded knees or some grounded kicks or whatever and get a fantastic TKO finish? That's what I want to see here. Well, I don't want to see just another unanimous decision. No way.
To be honest, Jay, I'm pretty sure you were happy that many of the fighters on the RIZIN Korea fight card learned the assignment because it's basically a blowout in the first half.
Yeah, and you know what that is? That's because they're from Black Combat. And as if you guys follow the City Life Project, which if you're not, you should be, with Aisha, he does fantastic coverage of Black Combat, and they have the superior rule set in Black Combat. So a lot of those fighters already know this, come over, going to the superior rule set from Black Combat. So, look right here, he says he feels a Gazanzade sub, but Ando KO or Ando decision could pay well. So I'm guessing that Ando's going to be an underdog. But he could be a live underdog. Like Mr. Ohio was saying, he's got some good power and everything. So if he can keep it on the feet, it could be interesting. But I agree. I agree with City Life Product. I agree with you, Mr. Ohio. I feel like it's Gazanzade's fight to lose. He's probably going to either get a sub. But I'm still, like I said, I'm hoping to at least see that he's learned the assignment. And we get at least some ground knees out of this bout this time.
Or at the very least, he doesn't stall out a decision. Be aggressive.
Right. Yeah, we don't want to see a wall install decision on this one. No way. And hopefully if you notice, the RIZIN refs has been doing a pretty good job of preventing that. Even in the ring, we don't get to see that much ring corner stalling that much anymore. The refs are pretty good about breaking them up when they're just stalling. So I expect that to continue for this bout.
At least with corner stalling, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So I expect them to continue on this one, and we're not going to see no wall install. So I feel like that's a good bet that City Life Project is talking about right there, a Gazanzade sub. But I would personally like it to be a Gazanzade grounded knee or grounded kick TKO or KO.
And about the finish in general, that we beggars can't be choosers here. Come
right.
on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Anything besides another grind out, snoozer decision. That's all we want. We just want an exciting bout.
And all I gotta say is, when it comes down to putting over the odds and the overs and the unders, when it comes down to these fights, always bet what you can afford to lose. That's all I gotta say on that. Now, we would basically.
there's one other fight. We can just touch on it real quick.
Yeah.
Aiki Ando versus, I can't pronounce the
We
Chinese.
can go ahead and touch on, Mike, let me go ahead and do that. It's my fucking show. But still, though, I'm sorry, man. I just have to do that just to basically restore order. But still, though, when it comes down to that, we got one more fight we can talk about now that we have enough time to talk about it. As Aisha is saying, black combat fighters are even quicker. Cheeky. But still, though, when it comes down to the last fight, actually the first fight on the main card for mixed martial arts, isn't it funny how Chihiro had a tiny cut and they stopped it, and Social Kim was bleeding buckets and they didn't stop it? I don't know.
Chihiro's cut was not tiny. Who said that? Was that Drew?
Yeah.
No, Chihiro's cut was not tiny. It was massive and it was right above his eye. So come on.
And Aisha's saying they know Korean fighters are tougher. Ha ha ha.
Wait, well, no, RIZIN won the World Series event. Remember, it was like, what was it, like 6-4 at the end of the and even the straight Japanese versus Korean fights was like 5-5 or something like that, right? And then two RIZIN representatives that were foreign. I think it was Case and then Satoshi. Yeah. So and Satoshi's half Japanese, right? So it's like 5.5. So they edged it.
But still, don't.
No, but the points taken. The Koreans are definitely tough fighters, excellent fighters, 100%.
But still, don't. Let's go ahead and run through this last fight real quick so that we can all get home happy, so to speak. That is Endo versus, so shows you how much I'm gonna pronounce China. I mean, shows you how much I know how to pronounce Asian names. Zashibading.
Okay. Can do it better than I can.
Come to think of it, you can blame all the anime I watched for the last 20 years for doing that, but still don't. Oh, and oh my God, Andrew, well, actually, Aisha's basically saying RIZIN needs Suzuki for photos.
Needs to what?
It says right here, RIZIN needs Suzuki for photos.
Talking about Chihiro Suzuki?
Probably so.
Yeah. No, he does do some cool photos and stuff, but right now he's still healing up from that massive beating he took. It looked like I got run over by a truck after that bout, right? I mean, with that,
after those 2 bouts.
Yeah, with his. Oh, yeah, that's right, because he had the fight of the year contender with Doubtbeck,
which he should have got the decision, but hey, what can you say?
Right? Yeah, agree 100%. And then he does a quick turnaround, like what was it 3 or 4 weeks tops or whatever it was?
Yep. Which was that was he wasn't anywhere near 100%.
And then Mikiro just beat him down and just made it look like you got run over by a truck, to where now he's got to take the rest of the year off to kind of regroup and get just get his momentum back, I guess, or mojo back, however you want to say it. But I think he's just doing it because he's got to heal up.
Yeah.
Because that was a massive. I mean, like I was saying, he looked like he got run over by a truck. His eye was closed. There's a massive cut over his eye.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, So yeah, but no, he's definitely one of the star fighters for photos and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh wait, City Life Pro said he was responding to Drew trolling. Okay.
I was gonna say just to for Raiki, well, agree to disagree, Isha. But anywho, I was gonna say Raiki Endo is, I want to say he's like 16, 15, and 4, something along those lines. He's one fight above 500.
Yeah.
And I believe the Chinese fighter that he's fighting is 1-0.
Yes.
So the main reason that he's on this card is he's from Sapporo or from Hokkaido. So just to give the local fans someone to cheer for and to maybe sell some tickets. Endo is a journeyman. He's good stand-up. I mean, he's slow from what I remember of him against Seki. I mean, he got dropped, 3 times, I think it was. But he survived to a decision. Yeah, they are. But
let me go ahead and read off while you try to explain. First of all, Raiki Endo is 16, 15, and 5.
Okay, I was off by 1.
But he is a hometown fighter fighting out of Power Green, Sapporo, Hokkaido, Japan. 33 years of age, born November 22nd, 1991. Out of his 16 wins, 9 of his 16 come by way of finish, 5 knockouts, 4 submissions. He last fought in RIZIN all the way back in 2023 when he lost to Tetsuya Seiki at RIZIN 43 2 summers ago. As far as Shashibadin goes, he's 1-0 as a professional mixed martial artist, having only fought as a professional since October. He is 25 years of age, born October 29th, 1999, and he fights out of... Hold on. I mean, just give me a moment here while I'm trying to get shit situated. But still, though, like a tank. No, he's slow, but he's built like a tank, Andrew says. But yeah, Shashibadin fights out of Yushu, Qinghai, China, so to speak. I mean, I'm sorry. I just basically try and get carried away trying to read the, fight listings. Oh, and he fights out of Fist of Fire MMA. Weird name, but serious fighter, even though he's 1-0 and his only win was via decision. But please continue.
I was just gonna say, Endo's slow, but he can punt. He's, as Andrew said, maybe trollingly, he's built like a. Yeah, that's better than I can put it. And he can punch. He's journeyman, but he's one of those journeymen with real power. And you would think he'd be motivated in his hometown, home prefecture to get a win in front of those fans. And this other guy's untested. So I'm going to go with his pressure, and I'm assuming that his pressure and his experience and his power will eventually wear the 1-0 fighter down and win by KO.
And Jay Wolf,
yeah, I'm going to agree with that. He's definitely built stocky and like I was saying, I got that farmer build. I like that term. It's a good term Drew came up with. He's got on a good run here, coming up with some good terms here. And just to let the audience know what we're talking about in the RIZIN FF Discord, which everybody should join. It's a lot of fun in there. Drew came up with some good nicknames for Apache Mix when he shit the bed in his most recent UFC debut called him Cement Mix. Thought that was great. And then he was trying to talk shit on the Heavyweight Grand Prix, calling a fat instead of play on the word failure, calling a fatlier. So I thought that was kind of funny too. But yeah, it's all right. It's getting better. He's learning. But this one, I think the farmer build, I like that. That's a good one. That goes up there with Cement Mix. So,
but
anyways,
going back to the fight that people should, probably focus on not caring about.
No, it's a superior rule set mixed martial arts bout. Every single one of those counts. Everybody should watch them. They're fantastic. No matter what, they got the drama level is. It's because you can get a finish anytime with the superior rule set, everything. See, I so much back. I know. Hey, that was. Let's see. Actually, let's see how his sophomore debut goes. I mean, let's see how his sophomore bout goes before we go writing him off. That could have been octagon jitters plus Dummy Don kept him out a year. So we'll see. I had ring rust that he had to knock off. So let's just see how his sophomore outing goes before we write him off. So anyways, back to this fight. Endo, yeah, he's built like he's got that farmer build, and the Chinese kid is just coming in here just to be, get Endo a win, the hometown guy a win here. But hey, you never know. The Chinese kid's got youth on his side, right? Mm-hmm. So he could be a scrappy youngster, it could be a scrappy young gun. We don't know. We only seen one fight of his so far, so we'll have to see how it goes. What was Code Mayday still here? Thanks for listening to Code Mayday. Still, though, maybe this will be a showcase in the opposite way we were thinking. Maybe this is a coming out for Shashibadin, and he must train in Japan. Hey, what if it is? Like I was saying, he's a young gun. He's only 25, right? What if he puts on a good showing here?
Paper
is absolutely correct.
At the end of the day, paper is thin.
Yeah. What if it is? I mean, we don't know. So yeah, absolutely. Code Day and everybody should join the Discord. RIZIN FF fans Discord. It's a lot of fun in there. We're all in there, and trolling's allowed. Just no illegal links, no illegal streaming links, and no racism. That's it. You can cuss, you can talk shit, you can troll, you can do whatever you want in there. It's not public, so it's a lot of fun. Everybody should join, including Code Day. So appreciate you all listening and watching this stream with us. So, but anyways, to get back to this fight, yeah, to his point, what if the Chinese kid? It is a coming out for him to where they, got a new little rising star right here. We'll see. We'll see how the fight goes. But I tend to agree with Mr. Ohio and Jay Krish that this could be, they want to get Endo here a win because the experience gap is pretty big here. Let's be honest. So we'll see how it goes, though. We'll see how it goes.
As far as the rest of the card goes, there's 4 kickboxing bouts and 3 2-5-minute round MMA fights on the card. And since we don't give 2 shits about that, I just gotta ask, out of the 12 fights that we just talked about, which one are y'all gonna be interested in? Which 3 are y'all gonna be? What am I trying to say? Oh, wait, that's right. Out of the 19 fights that we talked about, out of the 19 fights that are on the card, and the 12 fights that we just got through talking about, which fights are y'all going to be more? Which 3 fights are y'all going to be interested in more? Oh, and by the way, Andrew says, yay, garbage prelims.
We'll see. We'll see, buddy. Remember Hafid said on the last Focus Fight show for Otoko Matsuri, he was saying that the 2-round fights, even though they're under deep rules, right, with the only 2 rounds, but they're going to allow the superior rule set in them. So that's the only reason why it says they're custom rules or special rules about.
Andrew, I will say about Isha Toshizo, because he comes from breaking down their prop, there will be more attention to that than usual.
Yeah, of course.
Well, there you go. So they're not garbage prelims, Drew. Get that hater shit out of here.
It's a part of the main card. I think it's the first. I think it's the first fight of the main card.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only deep kick we get to see live.
And the only deep kick we get to see live. LOL.
That is true. But do you want to go first?
Answer your. Look, Drew's hating again. And if they're not garbage, Drew, we're gonna troll the shit out of you, brother.
But point of the matter, out of the 12 fights that we just talked about, and there are 19 damn fights on this card, so
I love it. I love it. Should have gone for the full even 20.
If you're gonna be watching this, watch in sessions. But still, though.
Oh no, dude! Watch them again. 8:30 p.m. Pacific, all the way through. It's gonna be lightning fast. Dude,
hell no.
The landmarks have lightning fast pacing. If you remember from the previous landmarks, you can't even get a tweet out in between the fights. They're so fast.
Yeah, but the point of the matter is, out of the 12 fights that we just got through talking about, which 3 are you going to be most interested in?
Go ahead, Mr. Ohio.
Okay, first one, of course, Karamov against Kimura. I'm excellent veteran versus a good young fighter. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Goto Kashimura. I believe that's going to be a really good grappling fight. And then the third one,
Sina, huh?
I'm thinking Sina just because I'm very curious to see what is going to happen. Like, he's so in theory, he should lose handily, but he's so unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen with him.
Yeah, I love that. That's a good intriguing. It's good intriguing bout. No, Drew, that's a damn lie, dude. We timed it. It was barely over 5 hours. It was between 5 to 6 hours for the last landmark show. Come on. There we go. City Life Product knows what's up. Aisha knows how it's done. Salute to you, brother. 9 hours. That's right, baby. So let me answer Jay Chris's questions before he flips out about the time limit here. The 3 bouts I'm looking forward to the most is the main event, of course, obviously. Title implications, all that good stuff. And then, for me, the second most anticipated bout is the Heavyweight Grand Prix, the final quarterfinal bout of the Heavyweight Grand Prix. If that's awesome, I cannot wait to troll everybody and just serve the haters up a big old black crow and make them eat it, because it's going to be freaking awesome, and it's going to save the Heavyweight Grand Prix. And then for my third and most anticipated bout, I'm going to go with this. This is a little tough. I mean, there's so many other good bouts on here, but man, I just have a feeling that Kolesnik bout, because like we were saying, he's probably the backup for the contendership if like we were saying, if there's something happens in the main event with Vugar and Kimura, like Mr. Hai was saying, what if one of them gets injured or something, right? Kolesnik is the reserve bout. So, and also he's going to want to put on a fantastic performance, like I was saying, to show up the main event and try to steal that #1 contendership from him. So, because what if Karamov Kimura is just a snoozer decision? Would they want to give him a title shot off of that, or would they want to give it to Kolesnik if he puts on a sensational performance?
Yeah, but don't count out Sasuke at all.
Right? No, of course, no. I'm just saying the implications of that bout is pretty high. So we'll see how it goes. So see that process he's got his tough stream to So everyone, thank you for listening and watching, and I'll see you later on. We're going to record the City Live product tonight for the Epic RIZIN Landmark 11, so that's going to be awesome. So everybody watch out for that in the next couple of days. Those are my 3 bouts.
Let me go ahead and say my 3 bouts before we close the whole damn thing out here. And Andrew is basically saying, well, Deep can have 30 fights and they'll be finished in 2 hours pushing bodies out the
because they're 2-round fights, buddy.
Yeah, they push them out like that's the whatever Sloan it was in Kickboxer after Tong Po broke his back.
Wow.
Yeah, because they're 2-round fights. Come on, dude, get out of here, Drew.
But still, though, as far as 3 fights, I am looking forward to the most. I am looking forward to Karamov. Aside from the main event, which is Karamov versus Kimura, and the co-main event, which is Horie Nishikawa, I'm basically looking forward to the RIZIN Heavyweight Grand Prix quarterfinal bout between Soldotkin and His Majesty, because I want to see how this Russian-German fighter can do.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to Salt versus Machi, because it's not only is it the only women's bout on the card, but let's face it, Machi says she wants a strawweight division in RIZIN. Yeah, that shit'll happen when pigs fly. But if she has a dominant performance against the strawweight queen of Pancrase, this could actually mean something toward the potential of that happening.
That's right. As
far as the fights, the third fight I'm looking forward to the most, I'm not looking forward to Sina versus. I'm not looking forward to Karimian versus Arato.
Stop lying. Yeah, you are. Come on, it's gonna be awesome.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it as a guilty pleasure. But
there you go.
As far as fights I'm actually looking forward to, I'm looking forward to seeing how Joji Goto and Jinosuke Kashimura compete, because let's just face it, Goto, as I mentioned, won his 2 fights so far in RIZIN via twister submission. People are going to be anticipating a third. And, I know that down here in my neck of the woods is hurricane season right now between now and November 1st. But when it comes down to watching Joji, it'll be like we're expecting a category 5 of awesomeness or something.
Nice.
I hope Michael Schiavello can say that during the broadcast. This man is a category 5 hailstorm of awesomeness.
Or his best line, exhibiting more control than an episode of Get Smart.
Yeah, of course. But still, though, long story short, this fight card, hopefully the 12 fights that we mentioned will be exciting coming up this weekend, but not as exciting as the upcoming Super RIZIN card that'll be taking place in July. And real quick, I want to touch up on that. When it comes
we forgot something, and Jay Wolf, it's already been decided, so please don't go off the rails, please. The announcement of the Flyweight GP participants.
Yes.
Did they announce the participants already?
We're going to announce them there.
Yeah.
We're going to announce them during the intermission of RIZIN Landmark 11 coming up this weekend. So I bet you're going to probably be the main one excited about those and see.
Oh, yeah.
Not.
I'm just curious who they're going to have, how many foreigner versus Japanese fighters.
Well, remember that the rumor is that they're only going to have a couple international fighters. It's going to be mostly Japanese. and unfortunately, it's only going to be 8 instead of a 16-man. So, unfortunately,
I was going to say taking more shots than a stormtrooper.
Yeah, of course. But still, though, point of the matter is we did tend to forget that the Flyweight Grand Prix fighter announcements will be put over at RIZIN Landmark 11 this weekend. Now, as far as the next time RIZIN will have a card, that will be Super RIZIN 4 at the Saitama Super Arena, July 27th. That's in about a month's time.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, in the main event, you got Kleber Koike Herbst versus Mikuru Asakura. You got Naoki Inoue defending the RIZIN Bantamweight title, not against Danny Sabatello, but against Ryuya Fukuda. Seika Izawa will look to defend her RIZIN Women's Atomweight World title against Yujin Shin. Then you got other bouts: Masanori Kanehara versus Yaman Ren Sugiyama. Karshika Doubtbeck versus Kiyoma Akimoto.
Big fight.
Mm-hmm. The RIZIN return of Patricky Pitbull Fury versus Shota Nomura, and Moeri Suda versus Noel Narita. In addition,
Noel.
Okay, Noel, either or. Still, though, you're also going to have the Heavyweight Grand Prix semifinals possibly, and you're also going to have the RIZIN Flyweight Grand Prix quarterfinals. But real quick, when it comes down to this event, I mean, is it too early to say what fans should be looking forward to? Mike, you go first.
As far as Super RIZIN 4?
Mm-hmm.
I would say the Flyweight Grand Prix, I think they're going to match the fighters very well, and there'll be 8 quality fighters. If I remember right, Sakakibara said that there was going to be a reserve fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you'll have 10 people, essentially. Yeah. I think the 2 heavyweight Grand Prix, I think there would be 4 or 5 single matches, non-tournament, non-title matches. So I believe it was 18 or 19 fights altogether, if I read the translation correctly. So,
or they're hoping for 18 or 19 fights.
But I was going to say the one that besides Mikuru and Kleber rematch, I think that, and Razhabali, Shaydullaev, seeing him fight is always excellent.
Yeah, because he's going to be facing the winner of the main event of this upcoming card.
Yes, and then maybe you'll see Satoshi on there, because he's literally only fought 50-ish seconds, whatever it was. So what I would say is the fight that I would say is the most impressive would be Masanori Kanehara versus Yaman.
I mean, is it because of the fact that it's experience versus youth?
Yes, and because there's animosity between the two, and that makes for a really interesting story.
Oh my God, how can you have animosity against somebody who has literally fought for the last 25 years in Kanehara?
It's Yaman. That's kind of his thing.
Of course it is. Jay, what say you?
You already know it's the Flyweight Grand Prix and the Heavyweight Grand Prix semifinals. Cannot wait for that. And also, I'm looking forward to Shaydullaev. Of course, I love the fact he's not doing an immediate rematch with Kleber. Thank goodness, not wasting one of his bouts. And I'm a little bit concerned that they're going to have, such a quick turnaround for either the main event or Kolesnik. But it's a good 4 or 6 weeks away. So that's better than, like it was before, where it was only like 3 or 4 weeks. So but still, that's a pretty quick turnaround here. And like I said, I still would like the Flyweight Grand Prix to be 16-man. And there's still time to do another bracket, on the next card, not August or September or whenever it's going to be. So we'll see how it goes. But, still, I'm just glad they're doing the Flyweight Grand Prix. And, that we've asked for that for a long time. We're finally getting it. Be looking forward to seeing who the fighters are announced. Probably going to be, all these guys from Japan like Shinryu and all them. And looking forward to seeing who the foreigners are. They're going to be in there. Probably going to be, I don't know. They said possibly 2, maybe only 1. So we'll see. It said it's supposed to be a surprise too, right? If I read the translation correctly, it's supposed to be like we're gonna be surprised who the foreigner is. So it might not be any of the guys that we already know, like Laramie or somebody, right? It might be somebody totally brand new that they signed.
considering the fact that Jose Shorty Torres is already signed up to compete in something for Brave CF, and I don't know when John Dotson's next BKFC title defense is. I mean, chances are whoever they get that's supposed to be the surprise is definitely going to be surprising for us.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that surprise is going to be, who is going to be announced. And yeah, I just can't wait. It's going to be awesome. And I love that it's going to be 19 bouts again. Let's go for even 20, guys. Get another Superior Rule Set Awesomeness bout on there. Or excuse me, Superior Rule Set Epicness bout on there. Make it complete with 20 bouts even. And no more than 1 or 2 kick bouts or bare knuckle bouts.
But in the meantime, considering the fact that we have now reached 2 hours and 20 minutes exactly of this audio, I mean, let's just go ahead and, put over some shout outs, get your final thoughts in, and, let the people know how they can reach you. First, Mike, even though I know you don't have any social media and I don't want people to hack into your email account, but how can people reach you and what are your final thoughts about this card?
First, you can just reach me at Mr. Ohio on the Discord thread. And then as I don't play with social media, keep my business private. But also, as far as this card, I will just respectfully disagree with Mr. Wolf here and say that I think there are too many fights. There's too much filler. I understand why they're there. They're local people try to sell tickets. It's a bloated card. But that being said, I do think that there's 9 or 10, about 10 good fights on this card, and I think there's a real chance they can deliver. Some fights more than others for reasons we've already elaborated on.
Okay. And Jay, what say you?
Well, I'm super excited. I'm the exact opposite. I love that there's 19 bouts in this card. I want even more. I want even less kick bouts and more Superior Rule Set Epicness bouts, and hopefully they do that for the Super RIZIN 4. And they're going to have to when they expand the roster and get more divisions. They need 15 plus bouts each card, especially if they want to do a subscription, right? We need at least one event per month, and I want to give them money for the subscription. I want to subscribe to them, but I can't have a month or 2 gap in between cards to where I'm paying a fee for an empty month. So
I think they should cut the subscription price to like $14.99 a month. I think that's better for right now, to be honest.
Yeah, I would agree. I agree with that because they don't have a card every month. So you're going to have some months where there's nothing, and if paying $20, paying $15 is better than paying $20 for a subscription. But still, for me, I need at least one event per month for a subscription. I want to give them my subscription money. So expand the roster. Keep doing 15 plus bout cards. I absolutely love it. This card, man, I'm so happy with it. I mean, my only criticism is that there is too many kick bouts. But other than that, I love that there's, they're making these landmark cage events more higher profile now. They're having an opening ceremony. Can't wait to see how that goes. I don't think we're going to get it as epic as Otoko Matsuri, but it's still going to be pretty fun. I can't wait for the intermission announcements, all that. It's going to be awesome all the way around. And all the title implications, Heavyweight Grand Prix is sensational. And then right here, you can follow me on Discord. My name is spelled correctly at JWolf. And on Twitter X, yes, you're looking at it correctly. It's misspelled on purpose because that's how it was when I first started commenting way back on the Y'all message board, and there was a million other JWolf, so I just misspelled it. It's easier to search everything. That's how you know it's me, not an imposter. So follow me there if you're a real person and you're not some bot. I follow back, and it's great. So follow me, and thank you all for listening. Thank you, Jay Chris, for having me on the show. I just can't wait to watch this show with you. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. Can't wait.
So I guess that leaves me. Well, when it comes down to me, I mean, obviously you can, if you're listening to this back or if you're watching this back, I know if you're watching this live, I can't really do shit right now as far as, production of putting shit in the description. But if you're listening to this back or if you're watching this back, you can check out my links in the description or in the podcast description of this episode. To be honest, I just can't wait. I mean, of course, you can also check out the links for Focus Fights as well, and make sure you follow, subscribe, rate, and review. Because if you help this show grow, we will definitely do more. Believe. But still, though, when it comes down to this fight card, RIZIN Landmark 11 this weekend, order it on RIZIN.tv pay-per-view. The event costs $20, or get the RIZIN Premium Pass, which costs $18. You can watch it at midnight Eastern. Well, actually, no. The prelims on the RIZIN FF YouTube channel start at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Pacific. And the main card starts on the pay-per-view platform I just mentioned, RIZIN.tv. 1 a.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Pacific from the Makomanai Heim Ice Arena in Sapporo, Hokkaido, Japan. But still, though, when it comes down to this fight card, I'm just looking forward to all the pomp and circumstance of what RIZIN can do, with a full-blown excitement for a cage fight. Because let's just face it, the other promotions that do cage show, well, let me rephrase that, because you have one promotion that just done 52,000 people in a full-blown soccer stadium out in the Czech Republic. You just had like a full-blown fight card. You have full-blown fight cards taking place all over the world that involve cages. But the UFC, they've been lacking. The PFL, they definitely been lacking. I think RIZIN has a chance to blow all this shit out the water just by doing this show. And then they got Super RIZIN 4 coming up next month, so I hope that they are ready for that. But still, though, I'm definitely looking forward to this fight card, even though it's in a cage. And let's face it, kickboxing in a cage sucks, but still, though.
It depends on who it is.
Of course. But still, though, when it comes down to this fight card, I'm just looking to see some superior rule set awesomeness.
Yes.
And that's all I'll say on that. But other than that, that's about it from us for now.
Wait. Can we give a shout out to the Combat Sports Today fam and Aisha and the City Life Project?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be doing the City Life Project show as well here. So everyone look out for that as well with Aisha and the Combat Sports Today fam on Twitter. Fantastic people. I mean, they're great. So give a shout out to them. I love that they got them on the banner and everything. So glad you do that before we sign off.
Yeah, and of course, shout out to the City Life Project and Aisha, who you will be on in a matter of moments. Oh, yes. And shout out to Andrew as well.
Oh, we gotta give him a shout out. Come on. He didn't even give us a shout out before.
Every time he comments on these damn live feeds, it makes me wonder why he's not a part of the show.
I know. What the heck, Drew? What, he's scared? Come on.
Yeah, but still, that's about it from us for now. We thank y'all for listening to Focus Fights Audio. We hope y'all check out the event this weekend. We hope that you catch us next time. Oh, and one more thing from me. I just released a brand new episode of the regular Focus Fights Audio podcast that talks about my Texas independent wrestling past with two other guests that I've known from said past. And we talk about a lot of things, anime, conventions, stuff like that. So, if you want to check that out, you can check it out on your podcast feeds right now. Oh, and one more question from RIZIN Won't Die. How long do you think the UFC will remain bad for RIZIN to take advantage of the vacuum of MMA quality?
For a while now. Because remember, they said that they were not going to go away from the Apex. They're going to keep doing Apex Shed Warehouse fights, right?
But I think they were. But if I remember right, weren't they going to go to more cities?
Yeah, like this summer right here, they only have 2 events in the Apex Shed Warehouse in like August. But then after that, there's a bunch that like they're not they cannot get off that Apex Shed Warehouse, saving them money or whatever.
That's a TKO. That's a TKO decision.
But it takes away from the fights. So I believe that is what is bringing them down, and also they're diluting the quality of their cards by having a bunch of Dingleberry, Dana White Contender Series guys, and just it just I don't know it just to answer his question, I think it can go on for a while, and because I don't who's coming up right now in UFC. You guys, I mean, who's the next star going to take over? McGregor's not coming back. John Jones ain't coming back. Probably not. I mean, if he does, only one more fight, right? So who's coming up in the UFC right now?
Hell if I know.
Exactly. But meanwhile, we got RIZIN guys. RIZIN is on the up. Dude, they said their first World Series event, their second international event. They're gonna be doing more next year. They're finally bringing back the Grand Prix. Those are star builders. And I mean, just dude, RIZIN is looking real good. And plus, they always got the superior rule set. As long as they keep the superior rule set, they'll be just fine. That always produces better action than the pussified UFC rule set. So, yeah.
It's a multifaceted answer.
Wait, go ahead.
It's a multifaceted answer that we can't discuss, that you aren't able to completely dissect in like 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, it should have. Hey, RIZIN won't die. You should have asked that like 10, 20 minutes ago in this stream.
Yeah.
We could answer it better.
Yeah, but still, though, we thank everybody for commenting, for checking out the show, for enjoying the whole atmosphere of the live feed. We hope you check out the podcast form available wherever you get your podcast. But other than that, again, that's about it from us for now. We thank you.
Oyasumi nasai.
Yeah.
Yeah, play Lenny Legend.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
And as we say in closing,
Pride never die. Pride is RIZIN.
and with that, we say peace, and we'll see y'all until the next one. Later.
Sayonara.